Present arms, highs, right. Watch where you're going. Barging in here like that, for heaven's sakes, I could have cut you in two.
That's right, sir, you could have.
All I need is a numbskull for bookends. What's the matter with you? Will you stand up straight like a man, for heaven's sakes? Oh, what do you want, anyway? What is it? Why?
Oh, beg pardon, sir, but you sent for me.
I know that. Why else would you be in here? Now, I've just received a call from the admiral. We are to expect a visit from a very important personage. He is no less than the Sultan of Morani. Huh? The Nips are threatening to attack his island, so one of our planes is bringing him out, along with his 3 daughters.
Oh, a sultan and 3 princesses, sir? Oh, what a feather in our cap here at Taratupa, sir.
Our cap.
No, sir, excuse me. Your cap, sir. Yours, sir. Yours.
Now, the Admiral wants to be sure that we go all out to make an impression. So I want you to make certain that everything is 100% in order. Now, I repeat, 100%.
Hope you had a good swim, girls. We'll see you Sunday.
Full of all the nerve. How can I make an impression on the Sultan with McHale and his riffraff running around loose? I want you to order the 73 boat out on a recon mission to, Aku Aku.
But, sir, there are no Nips on Aku Aku. That's just a deserted strip that... Oh, I get it, sir. You are clever, sir.
Yes, what'd you expect? I didn't get my commission for playing tiddlywinks.
How did you get it, sir?
Well, my wife has this cousin in the Pentagon, see, so I... Get out of here!
Sir, forgive me.
I'm terribly sorry, sir. If I didn't need you to help me welcome a Sultan, so help me, I'd run you through.
Thank you, sir. You are very kind to me, sir. But everything is in order for His Highness's arrival, sir. The honor guard is ready, and...
Captain Binghamton here. Oh, hello, Admiral. Everything is ready for the Sultan's arrival, Admiral. His plane had engine trouble. It was forced down where? Near the island of Samura. Yeah, oh, well, I don't have any boats in that area, Admiral.
Oh, sir, the 73 boat is right near there. Remember, you sent them to Aku Aku.
You heard him. Yes, he's a very fine boy. He's very alert, Admiral. You want McHale and the 73 crew to go down and pick them. Oh, Admiral, I just had a thought, sir. I have a very fine boat almost in the same vicinity, Admiral, and it's just been painted. I know that... McHale and the 73 crew. Yes. What's the matter with you?
Sir, please, one more chance, sir. One more chance.
Boy, what a break. Yeah, instead of a dull recon, we get a chance to rescue a sultan and his harem. They're his daughters. Here's the dame.
Shh, knock it off. All right, spread out, boys, spread out. Hold it.
Hi, guys. Well, I'm sure glad it's you instead of the Nips. Your Highness, it's all right. Our rescue party's arrived.
Hey, boy, a real life sultan. What are we supposed to do, bow? Which way's Mecca?
Greetings, Your Highness. Greetings. My name is Lieutenant Commander Quentin McHale, sir, and my crew and I are here to serve you.
Thank you. I am Karim.
These men here with you, are they to be trusted to transport a priceless cargo?
Oh, absolutely, sir. Oh, yes, sir. You are now under the protection of the United States Navy, sir. Yes, sir.
Forgive my doubts, but I travel with my most valuable possessions.
Oh.
Wow. Virgil, I heard that, young man. I forgive you for your ignorance of the customs of my country. Were you in Mirane? Like a chicken.
Oh, well, now, wait a minute. He didn't mean any harm. You see, in our country, that's sort of like a ceremonial greeting. Wah-wee, wah-wah-wah. Like a chicken.
Now, Commander, the next man who dares to debase the dignity of the princesses will answer to me.
And me. All right, you guys, go get the luggage. Right this way, Your Highness. Ladies.
Highness, your ladyships.
Ow!
Boy, real silk. No debasing, just bowing, sir. Yes, sir. Boy, sure runs a tight ship.
Rather an interesting craft, Commander. If my country had a navy, I would certainly include a fleet of these.
The important thing is to maintain control of the boat at all times. See what the wheel...
Agent Parker, how dare you?
Yes. Oh, no hands. I wouldn't touch it, honest. No debasing.
No, sir. It wasn't really his fault, Your Highness. You see, the seas are a bit rough.
Oh, that is right, Father.
Hush, daughter. Where is the Princess Siri? Siri, come here.
Yes, Father.
If Your Highness is so interested in PT boats, perhaps you'd like to handle this one, sir. Drive it.
Drive?
Yes, here, the wheel, sir. Just steer. Yes, sir, right here. And, it's quite relaxing and it's lots of fun.
May I?
Yes?
That does sound like a most amusing divertisement.
Be my guest. There you are, sir.
Oh.
Greetings, O exalted ruler of Mariani, O noble ally and friend. Allow me to introduce myself, sir. I am at your service. I am Captain Wallace B. Binghamton. I trust your highness had a safe voyage.
Yes, and a pleasant one, thanks to your Commander McHale. He is a very efficient officer.
Yes, isn't he? We're very proud of him.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now, your highness, if you and your daughters will accompany me, I'll be glad to show you your quarters. I'm sure you're going to find them very satisfactory. Present rug!
Hey, Skip, how'd you wrangle that invitation?
It's a command performance. The Sultan was so thrilled with the boat ride that he insisted that Binghamton invite me to the big dinner.
You'd better bring along a food taster.
Hey, Skip, if you get a peek at the girls, tell us what they look like, huh?
Yeah, let's know what they're gonna say. Never mind the girls. You guys are restricted to the base. Chuck, you're in charge.
Right, Skip. I'll keep an eye on them. Men, starting now.
Have a good time, Skip.
Three beautiful dames on Taratupa, and we're stuck here.
Yeah, we gotta get out of this.
You guys think you got a problem. What about me? I got a date with one of those princesses in 15 minutes.
How did you get it?
Well, I made a little date on the boat. Her name is Siri. In Marani, that means happiness.
Boy, you work faster than bicarbonate.
How about spreading a little happiness around with your buddies? There's 2 more Marani mamas out there.
Yeah.
Tell you what I'll do, Sonny. You guys help me swipe the 73 so I can keep my date with Siri, and I'll see what I can do.
Swipe the 73?
I promised Siri a boat ride. Look, it'll be a short one, but I'll need your help. Now, if we can keep Mr. Parker busy...
Okay, men. Let's break out the cards. While I'm in command, we're only playing for matchsticks.
Let's not waste our time playing cards, Mr. Parker. As long as we're stuck here, and let's put our time to something constructive and educational.
Well, sir, we'd all be very grateful if you'd refresh our battle-weary minds on the nomenclature of the 50 caliber machine gun.
Boy, I'm really proud of you guys. That's real Navy.
As a matter of fact, sir, we'd appreciate it if you'd demonstrate to us how to take it apart blindfolded.
I'll bet 6 to 5 he can't do it anyway.
Kenso. I mean, I don't want to brag, but in OCS, I majored in blindfold. We used to do a lot of things blindfolded.
Say another word. This way. You're right behind the table. You can start any time you want.
Oh, well, since you guys are so anxious to get underway, we might as well start right in. Now, men, this is a 50 caliber machine gun. Now, in dismantling this baby, first of all, we disengage grip control A and B from firing mechanism C. Boy, that's a dangerous part. Well, maybe I better start with the trigger mechanism. Men, this is a trigger. It's a coffee cup. Trigger on a coffee cup. Well, what was that?
Just passing boat. You're doing great, Mr. Parker. Just great.
Thanks, Gruber. Why don't we start with the barrel?
Princess Siri. Hi, I'm here.
You are Siri, aren't you?
Hello, Virgil.
Oh, you're Siri, all right. Come on down.
Be sure to bring Sister back in time for dinner.
If Father finds out about this...
I know. But it's worth it.
Well, I'm indeed flattered, Your Highness, that you and your charming daughters have accepted my invitation to dinner.
It is our pleasure.
Yes. Your slightest wish is my command, Your Highness. Is there anything else I can do for Your Highness's pleasure?
Now that you mention it, I did particularly enjoy steering Commander McHale's boat.
Oh, the boat you like? Oh, well, maybe you'd like to take another ride before dinner.
You do me honor.
Oh, you heard him. What are you standing there for, McHale? Get the boat.
Oh, the boat. All right. So it's over at the island, if you'll excuse me, sir.
Going to get the boat.
Yes, I heard.
Last but not least, we lock the firing pin to the trigger mechanism. And that's it.
I knew you could do it. Terrific. Looks like made in Japan.
Well, the secret to efficiency is practice.
Don't take it off yet, sir. We forgot to time you. Now, once more for the record.
Hey, that's a good idea. Only this time I'm going to make it tougher. I'll do it backwards. Get that, will you, Willie? Tell her whatever it is, I'm on official business.
Commander McHale's group. Oh, it's you, Skip. Yeah, Mr. Parker, he's right here.
What'd you go and tell him that for?
Oh, is it the Skip? I'll talk to him.
If he finds out the boat's going, we're dead. Yep. Here, Mr. Parker, here. No need to take that blindfold off, sir. We'll just stop the clock and continue after you hang up the phone call. Here, we'll lead you right over to the phone.
All right. The poor leader. Skip, answer Parker. Everything's under control.
Good. Now, hear this. The captain wants a 73 over here at Mainside right away. The Sultan wants to do some more steering before dinner.
Steer it again? Well, how do you like that? The Sultan wants to steer the boat again. Last time he nearly wrecked it.
Mr. Parker, I'm afraid the Sultan can't have the boat. It's not here.
Hey, good. Skip, Gruber came up with a great idea. The Sultan can't steer the boat. It's not here.
It's not there. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Then it's all settled, yes. Put Gruber on the phone right away.
Gruber.
Here, Skip.
Talk, Gruber, and I want the facts.
Well, Virgil took the boat out for a little spin with Princess Siri and...
What? Yes. Yes. Look, I'll try to stall as long as I can. But You get that boat over here, and I want that princess back in her quarters on the double, or else. Yeah. Oh, there's a crew for you, sir. Those boys are really on the ball.
All my crews are on the ball. Well, shall we get going to the dock?
Yes, I'm looking forward to getting back behind the wheel.
Yes, that will be fun, sir. And, sir, speaking of fun, I wonder if you'd mind taking a moment to explain this gadget, sir. I've been watching you smoke it. Is it difficult?
Oh, not at all, Commander. It has an extra stem. Would you care to try it?
You try it? Oh, yes, I'd love to. I'm sure Captain Binghamton would too, wouldn't you, Captain?
Yes, love it.
Well, you first, sir. Protocol.
Now, it's very simple, Captain. Yeah. All you do is inhale.
Smooth.
McHale's Island calling to 73. McHale's Island calling to 73. Come in, please.
This is 73. Look, you guys, Princess Siri and I are stuck out here in the middle of nowhere. We're just starting back and the engine's conked out.
Yeah, well, look, Verge, forget about the engines. Conked out!
Oy vey.
Siri says tell her sisters and they'll cover for her. If the Sultan finds out we're dead, so you better get going, Mr. Parker, on the double.
Right, yes, sir. Right. Hey, what am I saluting for? I'm in command here. Virgil, you're under arrest. Now, look, Tinker, you tell them how to start those engines. I'm going to go over and talk to the sisters and see if I can't stall them. Ensign Parker, over and out. Get your hands off the officer.
Oh, you're doing fine, Captain, just fine.
Yes. How do you like it so far?
I'm enjoying it immensely. I wouldn't want you to miss out on your boat trip.
It is my pleasure to make this sacrifice for you. I can always take my ride after dinner.
Oh, that's a wonderful idea, Your Highness. Yes, let's make it after dinner, and then you can have just that much more time steering the boat.
Let's eat early.
We can eat right now, Your Highness. I'll go get your daughters for you.
Agreed. Daughters? Oh, it's a little too early for dinner, isn't it?
Early said, let's eat. I'll go and get the princesses. My honor guard is awaiting my orders.
Oh, well, why don't I go, Captain? I'll get the princesses, and then I'll...
Hey, I'll get them. They're royal princesses. They deserve the best. That's protocol, too.
Princesses, sultanas, your honors. Your sister sent me. Thank you very much. I'm never... Well, pardon this most impersonal intrusion by this misery. By this most miserable person. What I'm trying to say is that I'm sorry to report that your sister Sari's in a situ of seriation.
Something has happened to Siri.
Please, you know what the Sultan said. No hands.
Forget we are princesses. Tell us, please, what has happened to our sister?
Well, she's not going to be here in time for dinner. The engine's conked out.
Oh, no. Father will be furious.
I know. Like a chicken.
Your Highnesses, it's Captain Binghamton.
No.
I'm here with your honor guard. It's time for dinner.
Oh, boy.
Sorry, Captain, but we are still dressing.
Yes. Please come back later.
Well, if you don't mind, I'll just wait here.
What can we do? If only the two of us come to dinner, Siri will be in terrible trouble.
I got an idea. Better use yours. Mine never work.
Well, what is your idea?
Oh, there they go. Greetings, Your Highnesses. This is a distinct pleasure to be able to escort you ladies. All right, haste. All right, hutch. Oh, careful, my dear. I mean, Your Highness. Incidentally, I'm Captain Wally Binghamton. Eccentric.
What is keeping my daughters, Commander? I hope there is nothing wrong.
Oh, I'm sure there isn't, sir. No, sir. But if you'll excuse me, maybe I better go see. Excuse me, sir. Oh, Captain, if you just let me explain.
One side, McHale. On your feet, gentlemen. The princesses.
Gentlemen, the United States Navy has made every arrangement for our comfort. Now it is my turn to make an arrangement for your delight. My daughters will dance for you.
Oh, but that won't be necessary, sir. You don't have to pay us back. We were glad to help.
You do not wish to see my daughters dance?
Well, do you think they ought to dance on an empty stomach?
Mind your manners, McHale. Don't pay any attention to him, Your Highness. He has these spells every now and then. He's sort of battle fatigue. I, for one, would love to see your daughters dance. Am I right, gentlemen?
You do me great honor.
Believe me, Captain, you better serve dinner first.
Shut up. This is going to be a rare treat, Sultan. I can hardly wait to see this.
Neither can I. Try some of these, Sultan. They're delicious.
Oh, they're lovely dances. Lovely.
You are most kind, Captain. Can't you be more careful,
Yes,
Commander?
I'm sorry, sir. So sorry. Very sorry. Oh, you were just fine, lady. Just fine. Weren't they great, gentlemen?
Just a moment. My daughters aren't finished yet.
I have news for you, sir. Those are not all your daughters.
Goodbye, girls. It's time to change. Here we go. Let them go out. Bye.
Captain, what is the meaning of this outrage?
Sir, one of these girls is an imposter. Aha!
Captain, how dare you?
Oh, I'm sorry. This isn't the one. This must be the one, sir. Aha!
Stop this madness. The admiral will hear of this.
Yes, stop it, Captain. You can't do this.
Oh, I can't, can I? You must be the one, you phony Balinese bunny. You're under arrest.
Arrest?
Your Highness, I'm terribly sorry.
Captain,
I thought
your unpardonable behavior will be reported to the State Department.
Oh, well, sir, he didn't mean it.
No, I didn't mean it, Your Highness. You see, I thought I saw one of my stupid nitwit ensigns, Your Highness. I mean, your daughter looked just like him. No, that's not what I mean, sir.
Enough. Come, daughters. I will radio Washington.
No, mercy. Mercy, Your Highness. Mercy.
Stupid! Infidel!
You shouldn't have looked, sir.
Why me? Why is it always me?
Of all the dumb, dim-witted things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, but Skip, let me explain.
I don't want to hear another word out of you eight balls. Now go on, get going before Captain Binghamton catches you here and I...
Too late, Skip. Here he comes.
Oh,
Princess, wait. Your father forgot his sword. Oh, am I glad that I found you, Princess. I don't know what your name is, but I hope you'll forgive my stupidity.
Oh, no, Captain. This is embarrassing.
No. Get away, McHale. Princess, whatever your name is, would you ask your father to forgive... Hark! Oh, boy.
Well, would it help if I forgive you?
Oh, I gotta kill him.
No, Captain, no! No, Captain! Oh. Captain, no! Captain, no! Captain, no!
Poor Skipper.
Hey, sure is a long time getting a wisdom tooth pulled. Yeah, never takes me that long at the dentist. It's over real fast, right after he catches me.
Well, the Skipper's going to be in some mood when he gets back.
I don't blame him. It's murder.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Probably snapping everybody's head off. All right, I guess we better really be on the boat.
I don't believe it. He just had his tooth pulled.
Who's the dentist? Bob Hope?
Hey, Skip, why so happy? What'd you do, bite the dentist's finger?
Happy? Are you kidding? I'm in agony.
Oh, come on, Skip. What's the joke?
You think it's a joke to have a tooth yanked?
Yeah, the doc used that new painkiller,
nitrous oxide.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, yeah, that's that laughing gas jazz.
Wow, that must be some juke.
Yeah, just look at it.
Oh, you're sure feeling no pain.
Are you kidding? No pain. It's killing me.
Yeah, the doc says we're off pretty soon.
We better get the Skipper back to the island before he strains something. Come aboard, you guys. Don't worry, Skip. I'll take over.
He'll take over.
Must have been the way I said it.
How you doing, Skip? I never felt worse.
Well, don't worry about a thing. I got everything under control.
Mr. Parker, a boat dead ahead!
Hold your boat! Pull backwards! Too late!
You murderers!
Hey! This is Captain Binghamton! Pull him out! Stand there! Skip, we just ran over Captain Binghamton.
You ran over Captain Binghamton. Now he'll have us all shot.
Skip, permission to go on sick call. I want to get a tooth pulled.
Get your hands off of me, you seagoing murderer, you. I've got you this time. Tried to kill me in this hot rod. That's what he tried to do.
Now, wait a minute, Captain. If you want to blame anybody, you blame me, sir. You see, I had this tooth pulled out.
That's quite a hole.
Uh-huh,
See
yeah.
that hole? Now, I don't care about that. I'm sick of your excuses, McHale. Sick. I'm going to do something with this imbecile that I should have done a long time ago.
Skip, Thomas against regulation to spank a junior officer.
Yes, sir. It's against regulation.
I am going to send a message to Complete. And you know what I'm going to request?
A couple cases of ketchup. Skip, forgot to tell you, we're low on ketchup.
I am going to request that a fitness board convene.
A fitness board? Now, wait a minute, Captain. You can't.
Oh, can't I, huh? All they've got to do is take one look at this goofball's record, and they'll break him down to 1 second class so fast it'll make your head spin. What do you think of that, goofball?
I'm a little nauseous already.
Now, wait a minute, Captain. I'm not going to stand by, sir, and see my executive officer railroaded. No, sir.
Huh? Well, when it comes to railroading, McHale, I'm a regular Casey Jones.
Elroy, take me to the barn.
I hope he runs off the track.
Of all the crummy tricks.
Hey, Skip, did he do that?
Who bring Mr. Parker?
I don't know. Darn
Skip, it's against regulation to swear in front of us enlisted men.
darn it! Oh, come on, will you, Chuck? Take off that hat. You're still an ensign. And if we have anything to do about it, you're going to stay an ensign.
Yeah, well, when that fitness board gets here, boy, it's going to be so long, Mr. Parker. Hello, Charlie.
Well,
What a rotten deal.
It ain't fair.
How do you get out of this chicken navy?
All right. Listen, stop your jabbering and start using your skulls. There must be some way we can get Binghamton to call off this hearing.
Yeah, if we can only jolly him up some way. You know, get him in a good mood.
Lead bottom? Even an undertaker couldn't put a smile on his face.
Wait a minute, I got it, guys. Why don't we call a truce? Maybe even throw him a party, huh?
Hey, that's a great idea. We could throw a real wingding. And Bert could sneak some nurses over from the base, and Willie could brew up a batch from the still, and we could dance and drink and get loaded and go right to the brig.
That's all we have on top of all of this.
Now, wait a minute. Hold it, boys. I think you just cued your Uncle Dudley onto something.
What is it?
Now, wait a minute. We might have a chance if we get old Lead Bottom in a happy mood, right?
Right.
Well, now, this is strictly out of left field, but, remember what I felt like when I came back from the dentist the other day?
Sure, Skip, the laughing gas.
Wow, if Binghamton felt that way, he'd not only cancel the fitness board, he'd probably promote Mr. Parker to admiral.
If that don't jolly up old Lead Bottom, nothing will.
Listen, he'll be so hysterical, he'll do anything.
What do you think, Chuck?
Well, I'm still trying to get used to it. Admiral Charles Parker. Admiral C.B. Parker.
Here, you bunch of hyenas. Come here. We got plans to hatch. Now, listen to this.
Presto. 1 tank, 100 proof laughing gas. Compliments of the base dental office.
Good work.
Always nothing. For Mr. Parker, I'd steal a whole dentist.
All right. Now, you guys sure you know what to do?
Have no fear, Skip. Once you lure Lead Bottom to the office window, psh, he's in happy land.
And Mr. Parker's practically off the hook.
Well, I sure hope so. Not that I mind being an enlisted man, but I don't know how Mother ever explained it to the bridge club.
All right, come on, boys. Let's go. Now, remember, Gloob, right between the eyes.
Don't worry, Skip. This is going to be a million laughs.
The fitness board is going to love this record. July 16th, during gunnery drill, he shot down a target plane. August the 1st, he torpedoed one of our garbage scows. Said he thought it was a nip sub camouflaged with potato peels. Hi, Captain. McHale, don't you ever knock? What do you want, sailor?
Me. Captain, we just thought that perhaps
I don't care what you thought. You're not going to change my mind. You're finished, you're done, you're kaput.
Well, Captain, seeing as how we can't change your mind about getting Mr. Parker booted out, we just thought we'd come over and make sure there was no hard feelings.
No hard feelings. Would you quit trying to snow me, McHale? Now, what do you want? What?
See, I told you wouldn't believe it, Skip.
Well, I guess you're right, Chuck. So go ahead and give him the gift that you bought for him, and then we'll shove off. Go ahead.
Captain, on behalf of No Hard Feelings, and through deepest admiration, on this auspicious...
For Pete's sake, will you knock off the dribble and get to it? Get to it. You buy me a present? What'd you get me? Well, what's the present?
Here you are, sir.
Goldenrod. You know I'm allergic to...
Oh, that's terrible, sir. Well, see, that's all we could find, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, what you need is some air. Yes, some air.
Get these out of here.
You need these, sir? Yes, air is what you need, sir.
What are you cutthroats doing out there?
Landscaping detail, sir. We're just spraying the shrubs.
That's right, sir. The whole island's been invaded by the dreaded frangipani fly.
Look out! Here they come, a flock of them!
Frangipani? I never heard of anything so ridiculous.
You squirted that right in my face, stupid.
Wait, breathe deeply, Captain. Breathe deeply now. Clear your lungs, sir. Clear your lungs.
There's some fresh air.
Hey, here they come again! Another flock of them!
Frangipanis at 3 o'clock.
Geronimo!
We're being invaded by flies.
Yeah.
Isn't that terrible?
Well, don't you worry about a thing, Captain. We're right behind you. Yes, sir.
We'll stick by you to the bitter end, because we're your friends.
Your friends, that's a good one.
Yes, sir. Real buddies.
Did you see that?
That's too bad you have to lose him, sir.
It's a shame. What do you mean lose him?
Well, you're the one who sent for the fitness board, the one that's going to reduce me to seaman.
I'll take care of that. Carpenter, Goofy, get in here. So, Shucky, you torpedoed a garbage cow. What's so terrible about that?
Oh, potato peels could have fooled anybody.
What?
Man, this ginkgo juice has got a kick stronger than a mule.
Yeah, it's almost as strong as my booze.
You called, sir?
I don't know, did I?
Yes, you called.
Send a message up to Complete and cancel the fitness board.
Cancel? But you... Oh, I get it, sir. It's a joke, sir. That's it.
Joke? Do I sound like I'm joking?
Yeah, so get going, copy, and send a message. Come on, isn't that right, Wally?
That's right, Quint, baby.
Oh, but sir...
You send the message now just as fast as your fat little legs will carry you. Out.
Skip, it worked. Yeah, but the stuff is going to start to wear off. We got to go.
Thought they were going to get rid of you, didn't they, Chucky? They're not going to do it because I like you, Chucky Wucky.
I like you, Bingy Wingy.
Bingy Wingy.
What you need, sir, is a little bit more fresh air. Yes, a little bit more. Yes.
Hey, get ready, you guys.
Stuck, Skip.
The window's stuck. What's so funny about that?
Well, don't you get it, sir? It's a riot. The window's stuck, sir.
That's even funnier than potato peels.
Yes, I'll go along with that. It's funnier than potato. What are you 8 balls doing here?
Hey, wait. Just try to open your window, sir. Yes.
But remember, I'm Chucky Wucky.
And get my own window open. What is this, Chucky Wucky? Are you out of your mind?
Out of your mind.
That's one we've heard yet. You're not laughing.
Could you cool you? I don't know what this is all about, but I'm...
Sir, I ran all the way and... Oh, mission accomplished.
Why would I send a dummy like you on a mission? You're a dummy.
But, sir, you specifically ordered me to radio Complete and cancel Ensign Parker's fitness board.
I what?
Well, sir, you said, and I quote, sir, get going as fast as your fat little legs will carry you.
Withering dodo. Have you lost the last few marbles that you had? Why would I want to cancel? If anything, I want the thing on this hyena speed it up.
No, look, Captain.
Now, McHale, I don't know what you're trying to pull here, but I'm going to drive over to the radio shack and take care of this myself. Now, get away from my window.
Bingy Wingy, just let me open your window. Come here.
I'm not Bingy Wingy.
Well, you are when the window's open.
Yeah. Now, you wouldn't want to do this to an old pal, Chucky.
Yeah, after all the laughs we've had together.
Yeah.
Get out of my way.
What about the 2 Irishmen that came to... Fair weather friend.
I'm confused. What is going on here?
We're just trying to open up his window.
Now we're going to go see if we need some help with the window in the Jeep.
In the window.
We gotta give another belt with this stuff, otherwise Mr. Parker's a goner. Here, Chuck, take this. Now, when I get his attention, give him a blast. The rest of you guys follow my lead. Captain! Don't start that motor, sir.
Don't start the motor.
No,
you just
sir.
watch me start the motor. Get those pirates
No,
away.
No, sir. We just got an emergency order from maintenance, sir. They said to check all vehicles for possible enemy sabotage.
There's a lot of pups out.
No.
No, man, get away from there. Put that hood down. Get away from the vehicle. What are you doing? Get that hood down. There.
What do you see any flies, sir?
Get that thing out of my face, you ex-ensign, you. McHale, sir, I am not worried about any enemies. You are the only enemy that I have.
Oh?
And as for sabotage, Go, nincompoop, what in blazes are you doing up there?
Oh, well, you never can tell, sir. Those flies might be spies.
Might be spies. Are you bucking for a Section 8? Get off of my vehicle! Where's my key? Where's the key?
Oh, the key's right here, sir, right here.
Well, that did it. That did it. I'm not going to wait for any fitness board to convene. I'm going to put you away myself, you... What am I doing with a wrench?
What's he doing with a wrench? Did you hear that, fellas?
Hey, Chucky Wucky, come on down and join in the fun.
Okay, Bingy Wingy.
Bingy Wingy. Yeah, you old buddy, old pal, old friend of mine.
Gee, I love that kind of
Oh, well, if it isn't a cute little trick from Ward 7. How are you, beautiful?
Captain Really?
Captain Really. I never heard of him. I'm Captain Binghamton.
The captain sure is a barrel of fun, isn't he, Lieutenant?
Am I on the right island?
Come on, honey. Let's you and I go on sick call together. Come back here, Nursey. Come back.
Hey, it sounds like he caught her.
Man, I'd like a shot of that happy juice myself.
Well, gather around, boys. The laughs are on me.
Yeah, all right. Ease off, you guys.
But Scamp, it worked. I'm off the hook.
Yeah, for now. But we're still not out of the woods yet. Let's just hope the captain forgets all about this by the time he gets through whooping it up.
Hey, Skip, brass ahoy!
Oh, no. Admiral Shoemaker. Come on, boys. Sure, that's Shoemaker from the fitness board. Well, they must have left Comfleet before the cancellation reached them.
Well, what a time for him to show up.
All right, you guys, come on, get lost on the double. Go on.
Well, Skip, what are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to try to keep them away from Binghamton. Well, if they ever get wise to what we pulled on old Leadbottom, we'll all end up seaman seconds. Look, you get rid of that tank and stay out of sight, or I'll take care of this.
Stay out of your tank and get rid of your...
Admiral Shoemaker, sir. Lieutenant Commander McHale, welcome aboard, sir.
McHale, is Captain Binghamton in?
Yes, sir.
We're here a little sooner than expected.
I know, sir. I believe you'll find Captain Binghamton inspecting the warehouse. Right this way, sir.
Sorry to hear about your man, Parker.
Yes, sir. And if it's all right with you, sir, I'd like to put in a good word for Mr. Parker. He's a fine executive officer, sir, and, well, I can't understand why...
A little early in the day to be hooping it up, McHale?
Oh, well, it's a special occasion. You see, one of the nurses just got engaged, yes, and they're throwing her a party, and, well, you know, right this way.
Now, hold on. Is it possible that Binghamton is over?
Oh, no, sir. Captain Binghamton is not the kind of a man, sir, to be partying during duty hours. Right here, sir.
Don't, please.
Why, that's Binghamton.
Come on, honey. Live it up. That's an order.
Come on, let's go.
No, sir. You don't understand. You see...
Well, lay it, McHale. It was a nice try covering up for your CO, but it didn't work.
Hi, Quinny Winnie.
Who are you? What are you doing up here?
Attention! At ease. Binghamton, what in the name of the Great White Fleet is going on here?
Admiral Shoemaker. Stand at attention, nurse. Don't you see the Admiral? You're a disgrace. Help me down. For heaven's sakes. Go to your quarters. Out. Go. I'll see that she's punished, Admiral. Whether imagine that dancing on tabletops, whether that shameful conduct is shameful.
Yes, I would say so, Captain. It appears that we arrived just in the nick of time.
The nick of time? The nick of time. Yes. You mean Ensign Parker's fitness board. Oh, yes, you got here not a minute too soon, Admiral. Why, that man is a disgrace. He's totally unfit to be an officer. Totally unfit.
You were saying, Captain?
Who put that on me? I don't understand. What is this? McHale, what is this?
Don't look at me, sir.
Oh, stop trying to pass the buck, Binghamton. And you wanted us to pass on the fitness of one of your officers.
Oh, yes, I do, Admiral. Now, don't let all this fool you, sir. This is just something that he thought up to get Parker off.
Well, Mr. Parker doesn't wear, roses, sir.
Now, McHale, you're mixed up in this someplace. Now, I insist that we get Ensign Parker and we get to the bottom of this.
Don't worry, I intend to. McHale, where is Parker? I want to see him on the double.
Sir,
Harry, everybody out. Let's go. No, wait a minute, Admiral. Don't you see, this is all part of the plot. He's just faking an air raid so that...
Binghamton, have you lost your mind?
Now to the shelters.
Yes,
That's an order.
Yes, sir. Oh, thank you, thank you.
Hey, you missed again, Nippies. I'm over here.
Hey, where's Mr. Parker?
I ain't seen him.
Beats me.
Figured he was here.
Maybe you better have a look-see.
Go on, take a look.
Sorry about this inconvenience, Admiral, but just as soon as this raid is over, then we can get back to the Parker case. Oh, I can tell you things about that nitwit you wouldn't believe.
Holy mackerel! It's Mr. Parker!
And I told you, Admiral, there's something the matter with that boob taking a walk in an air raid.
We've got to get him. He'll be massacred. Come on, boys.
Delay it, McHale. It's bad enough there's one man out there. You stay put and that's an order.
But, sir,
It's suicide out there. But look at him. Why, he seems happy about the whole thing.
That's what I keep trying to tell you, Admiral. The man is just not normal.
Oh, will you pipe down?
Hey, you're getting closer.
Chuck, get in here.
Good heavens, he got one. And I'd swear that he didn't even aim.
Oh, that's the way he always shoots, sir. The Dead-Eye Parker, yes, sir.
Dead-Eye Parker.
Hey, one-handed. Hey, hold it right there. Right in the tail. Hey, the rest of them are turning tail.
Why, Mr. Parker whipped the whole bunch of them.
Single-handed.
He always does.
Don't be ridiculous. They probably ran out of bombs. Admiral, I tell you, that man is totally unfit to be an officer.
Belay that, Binghamton. Anyone who'd stand laughing in the face of death like that brave lad was born to be a combat officer.
Ah, you're right, sir. You see, Captain, I told you it was a mistake to call that fitness hearing.
I don't know about that, McHale. After what I've seen around this base today, I'm beginning to have grave doubt about you. Now, come on. Let's go out and congratulate that marvelous young man.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye, Captain. Doot, doot. Come on, boys.
Why me? Why is it always me?
So long, you clowns. Oh, that
Mr.
hot.
Parker, you were... well, magnificent is the only word for it.
Magnificent? What'd I do?
He shoots down an enemy bomber all by himself, out in the open, all alone in a major attack. And he says, what did I do?
Well, Mr. Parker's always very modest, sir. Yes, sir.
I shot down an enemy by myself. Sir, Ensign Parker has a request.
Request?
Yes, sir. Permission to faint.
As I was saying, sir, Ensign Parker's very modest, sir.
Sir, I told you shush. Now I'm not going to shush. Give me that shush. All right, now bring the champagne over here. But, sir, it's no use trying to hide it. No matter where you put it, McHale and his gang will get it. They always do, sir.
Not this time. This time I've outsmarted those Deepwater Dillingers. Huh?
Oh.
How about that? Daddy had this little piggy bank flown in from Fort Knox.
Oh, that's very clever, Daddy. Oh, I mean, sir,
Shut up. Turn around. Don't you dare even listen to these clicks.
Yes, sir. My ears are sealed, sir.
All right, good. All right. Unseal.
What, sir? Oh, sir, yes, that is brilliant, sir.
Something?
How much do you think it will hold?
I don't know. Just hand me the bottles. We'll find out how it's all. Hand me the bottles. There we go. There says 1, 2, 3,
Hey, how about that? Only domestic stuff.
dozen bottles of champagne stolen from underneath my very nose. I tell you, Carpenter, we have got to do something about McHale and his thieves. Somehow, somewhere, we gotta get them.
Yes, sir. Sir, if you'll please excuse me, I do have to get over to the post office.
What for? What?
Well, sir, I just received 3 months back pay, sir. And look, it's all in brand new $100 bills.
Brand new $100 bill?
Yes, sir, and I'm sending it home, and my mother is going to take them.
Oh, Elroy, you have just saved the day, boy. I don't know how I'm ever going to thank you for this.
Oh, well,
Why, with this money as bait, we can really trap McHale.
Oh, with my money, sir? Oh, no, sir, you don't understand, sir. This is my money.
Now, wait a minute. You let go of that, you chicken-hearted cheapskate for a word.
Oh, sir, you...
Just let go. Every time we nearly trap Ollie McHale and his 40 thieves, they either eat or they drink the evidence. But this time, if we can mark these bills, put them in a wallet, and let them swipe them, pow, we got them.
But, sir, you don't seem to understand. You see, I'm engaged to a little girl back home, and this is my trousseau money. And, sir, oh, thank you, sir. I knew you'd give it back.
How can you even think of getting married at a time like this?
Well,
now, you sit down there. You sit down there and write down these serial numbers as I give them to you. Now, I am going to get McHale if it takes every cent you've got. L93900.
L939.
Hey, you guys, this looks like a good spot right here.
Yeah, it's fine.
Hey, it's blue outside, man. Oh, hey, hold the phone here. Well, what's with the champagne?
Hey, something funny's going on here, Skip. This isn't GI issue.
All right, Huber. Where'd you get the bubble water? And don't give me that one about you got a care package from the French underground.
Would you believe it, sir, if I told you these bottles were washed ashore?
Oh, sure. Sure I would. If there was a note inside saying, swipe from Captain Binghamton.
No note here, Skip.
These days, you guys are going to go too far. Now, there's only one thing we can do.
What's that?
Well, drink fast and don't leave any fingerprints. Wait a minute. Hold it. Come on. We got to go after those girls. Chuck, you stay here and watch those sandwiches, will you?
Yeah, right. Hey, don't forget, the big fat one's mine.
What big fat one?
The big fat sandwich, the one with the peanut butter in it.
Peanut butter? I made special teriyaki. He eats peanut butter. This insults my people.
Come on, boys. Let's get the show on the road.
I sure hated to hurt Fuji's feelings. After all, it is my mother's peanut butter. Oh, boy. Fuji's teriyaki sauce must have spilled on this. Oh, there's another one. Oh, hi, fella. You lost?
Hey, fire station! Hey, alligator at 3 o'clock! Skipper! Hey, no, wait a minute. You don't belong here. You belong in the water. Well, maybe you do belong here. But we were here first. Fair is fair. All right, Skipper! Skipper! Now you stand back. I'm an ensign of the United States Navy, and that's an order. Oh, wait a minute. Eating an officer's a federal offense. Skipper!
Chuck, wait, what's the matter, boy? What's the... Down! Hey, Chuck, how'd you get into this?
He was eating my peanut butter sandwich. Skip, you gotta do something.
How about do something now? Chuck, your gun! Draw your gun!
Gun, pull. Gun. All right, you little pipsqueak. Now you're gonna get it.
Hey! Oh, no! Look, Skip!
He's picked up Mr. Parker's gun.
Bring it back to him.
Like a trained hound.
Hey, Skip. He likes me. He's smiling.
Oh, yeah, careful. It may be indigestion.
Yeah, probably somebody he ate.
Yeah, easy does it now. Easy.
Easy, boy. Nice boy.
Gave him back his gun. How about that? A friendly alligator.
Hey, Skip. Can we keep him as a mascot for the boat?
Mascot? Are you kidding?
No, really, Skip. I haven't got a name for him. He looks like an old cousin of mine. We could call him Sidney.
Sidney?
Yeah, can I keep him, Skip? Can I?
Oh, well, how about it, Skip? Look at the size of him. We can make a fortune. Hey, you know what they're getting for alligator shoes?
Don't you hurt Sidney, Grover.
Forget what I said. Look at me. I wear sneakers. All right, I said I apologize.
Hey, watch out. Look at those teeth.
Down, boy. Down, boy.
Oh, that's what I like. A nice, peaceful luau.
Oh, darn it, there's nobody here. There's not a pickpocket in sight.
Oh, good. Sir, now can I have my money back?
Well, just stop with the money back. Never mind that. You'll get your money back at the court-martial. Wait a minute. Maybe it's just as well those pirates aren't here. I've got a better idea, Carpenter. I will just drop my wallet somewhere around here where they can find it very easily. Then when they pocket the money, whammo, it's brig time.
Sir, couldn't I keep one bill? Just one.
Stop with that sniveling. I'm telling you, you're doing this for the Navy. Perfect spot. I can't miss it there, huh? All right, we've got the cheese in the trap. Now all we have to do is go back to the base and wait for the rats to come home. I tell you, Elroy, this is the happiest day of my life.
Mine too, sir. Mine too.
Yeah, well, stop giggling and come on, boys.
Was a real blast.
What a pose.
All right, you playboys. Listen, let's get out of these party duds because you never know when you know who will pay us a surprise visit. So, let's
See you
go
later.
for it.
Don't take any wood nickels.
Well, I still don't know why we couldn't have brought Sidney back as a mascot.
Well, now, I'll tell you why. Because if one of our crew is missing, I don't want to have to take Sidney down to the infirmary to have him x-rayed.
Yeah, but Skip, what's he gonna do out there? He looks so lonely and...
Well, all right, okay. Don't worry about it. You can visit him every Sunday and bring him all the peanut butter sandwiches you want.
Hey, can I, Skip? Boy, that's great. Hey, that's really decent of you. I'm going to write a letter to my mother and ask her for some more peanut butter.
Dear Mom, I made a new friend today. Hi, Sidney.
Sidney! Hey, what are you doing here? Oh, boy, is the skipper going to be mad if you followed us home. Hey, what do you got in your mouth? Easy, boy. A wallet? What are you doing with a wallet?
Captain Wallace Binghamton.
Oh, boy, now you... Captain Binghamton? Sidney, you ate the captain. Oh, boy, we've been in trouble before, but we never ate the captain. I got to see the skipper. Whoa, Skipper! Sidney's back and he ate the captain! What? What are you talking about?
Hey, wait a minute. What's all this about?
Sidney just came back into my shack and he had a wallet in his mouth, and here's the ID card. That's all that's left of Captain Binghamton.
Are you trying to tell us that your alligator friend ate old lead bottom?
Hey, how about that? Let's hear it for Sydney. Hip, hip, hooray! Hooray! Now, easy does it, will you? Will you quiet down?
Yeah, knock it off, you guys. We gotta do something fast.
Oh, that poor alligator eating the captain. Oh, he's liable to get indigestion.
I'll get the bicarb. Will you guys quit your clowning? Now, look, I'd like to believe this as much as you fellas. But this is too crazy.
Oh, if you don't believe me, ask Sydney. He's in my shack.
Well, then, come on, let's go. Let's find out what this is all about.
All right, you men, freeze.
Captain Binghamton.
Sydney didn't eat the captain.
Darn it, I knew it was too good to be true.
Boy, am I glad to see you.
Yeah, I'll bet you are. You're all under arrest. I'll take that. I said I'll take that.
You said freeze.
I can know that, Governor. Resisting arrest.
Yes. Well, sir, now, if we're under arrest, would you mind telling us what for?
Yes, I'll tell you what for. For the theft of $900 from my wallet. That's what's for. This is my ID card. He had it, and it's mine. You see that? All right, McHale, who's got the wallet?
Yes, and the money. Where's the money, sir?
I am in charge here. Shut up. You just stand there and you take notes. And you stand by with the serial numbers of those bills.
Serial numbers?
That's right, McHale. I really got you this time with the evidence. Now, which one of these thieves has my wallet?
Well, none of them have it, sir. I hate to say this, but Sydney stole it.
Sydney. What is that, a code name for McHale?
No, sir. Sydney's an alligator. Sir, I hope you go easy on him. I'm sure he didn't know what he was doing.
You stop pleading for mercy. I hope you're taking every word of this down.
Every word, sir.
An alligator?
Yes, sir. A-L-L-I. If you don't believe me, he's in my shack right now with your wallet.
Now, look,
At
Captain.
ease, McHale. You say you have an alligator in your shack right now with my wallet?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'd love to see him, Ensign. Love to see him. After you. Keep your eyes on them. If they make a move, shoot to kill. Him, me down.
He's not in there, sir.
He's not, huh? Well, we've looked everywhere. Where is Sydney?
Oh, I don't understand it, sir. He was here a minute ago, and he had your wallet.
Oh, well, you shouldn't have done that, boy. You see, there was $900 in that wallet. You should never leave an alligator alone with all that money. You never know when he's liable to go downtown and buy himself a swamp.
But it's the truth, Captain. There is an alligator, and he calls him Sydney.
I met him this afternoon. He loves my mother's peanut butter.
Oh, does he? Loves his mother's peanut. Well, as long as you've explained all that, you're under arrest for grand larceny.
Oh, now, look, Captain,
Knock it off, McHale. You're lucky you're getting out of this. You're lucky he's the only one I caught with my ID card, and I've got witnesses. Barracks, come in here.
But, Captain, he did not steal your wallet, sir. It was the alligator.
But I'll tell you what you do. Why don't you bring Sydney to the trial? Maybe we can put him on the stand as a witness. That is, if you can get him to raise his right claw.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm innocent. Yes, and besides that, Mr. Parker has his rights.
Well, you tell that to the judge advocate. Take him away.
Skip, find Sydney. He'll clear me.
All right.
Sydney! Here you are, Sydney. Get your homemade Mother Parker's peanut butter free to anyone named Sydney.
Here, Sydney. Sydney.
Sid.
How you doing, girl?
Not an alligator in sight. How about you guys?
Nothing. The closest we got was a turtle named Sam.
All right, cut out the funny stuff, will you? The only way we can save Mr. Parker is to find Sydney and hope he's still got that wallet with him. So come on, boys, let's spread out and keep looking.
Yeah, but we've been looking all night, Skip.
Yeah, and the court-martial starts in a half hour.
We'll never find him, Skip.
Stop looking. No wallet, no Sydney, no nothing.
The old lead bottom's got Mr. Parker right where he wants him.
Sydney!
Hey, where'd he come from?
Where you been hiding? What'd you do with that wallet, you old...
Easy, man. I was only kidding. Hey, I just saw the wallet in his mouth. Hey, he still got it.
We're in luck. Yeah, we're in luck, all right. Do I hear any volunteers to take that wallet out of the alligator's mouth? Yeah, that's what I figured. Well, we got to get that wallet to the court-martial. All right, I'll give it a go.
Okay, now let's be nice, Sydney.
Sydney, Sydney boy. Sydney, now, this is for Mr. Parker, Sydney. Oh, open your mouth, Sydney. Oh, open your mouth. Atta boy. Easy does it now. Easy, just hold the mouth open. Now that... You could have called me Lefty.
Well, it's not going to work, Skip. The only one he'll let come close to him is Mr. Parker.
That's right.
Get a job
on it. Hey, that's right, Burge. That's it.
But Mr. Parker's over at the court martial.
Under guard. Yeah, we could never spring him.
All right. We can't get him over here. So there's only one other thing to do. Ah, that's right, Sidney. You guessed it. We're going traveling.
Then, before I am finished, I intend to prove to this court that my wallet was stolen. My wallet containing 9 brand new, crisp $100 bills, and I intend to prove to you that it was stolen by this deceitful, this underhanded, this two-faced, this thieving...
I object.
You can't object. You're only an ensign, and you're a crooked one.
Order, Captain. Since Mr. Parker is acting as his own defense attorney, he is entitled to object.
Ha-ha.
Now, what's your objection?
Well, I demand a mistrial.
A mistrial? On what grounds?
Temporary insanity.
Temporary insanity?
Yes, sir. The alligator who stole Captain Binghamton's wallet was crazy about my mother's peanut butter.
Order in the court.
Sir, this is the most ridiculous thing I've... Do I have to stand here and put up...
Just a moment. Ensign, you'll have ample chance to present your side of the story after all the charges have been presented. Request denied. Sit down. Captain, proceed.
Thank you. Now, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, I intend to prove...
I object.
What's your objection this time?
Yes, what?
He's on my foot.
Oh.
Order! Order in the court.
Come on, Sidney. Come on, boy. That's it. Follow the nice peanut butter sandwich, Sidney. Come on. Oh, boy. Now, don't let him get into it now. He'll swallow the wallet. I'm trying. All right. Easy, don't stop now, Sidney. Come on. Come on. Let's go, Sidney. Come on. Come on. Hey, I'll let you steer. Come on. Come on. That's it. Go ahead. Come on, Sidney.
Now I want you to tell this court the truth. Is it not the truth that I caught you with my ID card? And did you not get this ID card from my wallet, which contained $900 in cash?
Well, I had the ID card, but I didn't have the wallet. I'm trying to tell you the alligator brought me the wallet.
Would you please, Your Honor, tell this stupid ensign to stop with that stupid story about that stupid alligator?
Now, I object, sir. You can't call Sidney stupid.
Oh, I can't, can I?
No, sir. He may look stupid, but maybe he had an unhappy childhood.
Oh, now we've got an alligator with an unhappy childhood. I demand, Your Honor, that you tell him to shut up with this ridiculous drivel and answer my question.
Not until you apologize to Sidney.
I am not going to let any stupid ensign tell me to apologize to some stupid alligator.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt.
You're stupid. I'll break some bones around here.
Order in the court! Order in the court!
Instead of pour it on, Skip, that court-martial started already.
I know. How's Sidney doing back there?
I can't hold him off much longer, Skip.
Can't you go any faster? Friends! Come on, take her. Give us everything you got.
Got it down to the floorboards now, Skip. Yeah, see you later, alligator!
Don Chuck, stall him, boy. We're almost there.
Now then, you stated that your name was Captain Wallace Binghamton. But can you prove it?
Can I prove it? You pea-brain, you. Do I have to put up with this?
Defense does have the right to cross-examine. Continue.
Any nitwit would know who I am. What does it say in my hat right there? What does it say?
Lieutenant Elroy Carpenter.
That's right, Lieutenant Elroy. All right. Who stole my hat? I might have known you. All you. What does that say?
Captain Binghamton.
All right, now you're satisfied?
Well, I think we need more than circumstantial evidence. Do you have a driver's license?
I have a driver's license. Oh, I've stood about all this. I'm going to take her. Order! Oh, this is an outrage. This whole thing is an outrage. Perfectly obvious to me he's just stalling because the man is guilty.
I'm not.
I too.
Stop it! This is a court-martial! Mr. Parker! It's obvious that you have nothing further to contribute to this case. Except the fanciful story that your defense is based upon an alligator that's a wallet retriever? I have no choice but... What's going on back there?
Sorry to interrupt the proceedings, sir, but we're here with some new evidence on behalf of our defendant, Ensign Parker. May we have your permission to come forward and present it, sir?
No. McHale, you get out of here.
Captain Binghamton, I'm in charge here.
Well, I'm sorry, sir. It's just that I'm trying to protect you against McHale. You see, you don't know him as well as I do. He's probably...
I'll decide whether or not this is a trick. After all, we're all here for the same purpose, aren't we? To see that justice is served.
Well, yes, sir. That's why I want to warn you.
McHale, bring in your evidence.
Thank you, sir. Okay, boys. Bring in the key witness for the defense.
It's an alligator. It's Sydney.
Okay, that's enough. That's it. McHale, this is an outrage. You'll get that monster out of here.
Oh, now, sir, is that any way to talk about our key witness, sir?
Order! Order!
Boy, am I glad to see you, Sidney. Gotta hear the things he's been saying about you.
I haven't said a thing about you, Sidney. McHale, get him out of here, Carpenter. Shoot him.
Who, Sir McHale?
No, the alligator, you dunce.
Order in the court. Order. McHale, get that alligator out of here.
Well, sir, you said we could present our evidence, and besides, Sidney won't hurt anybody, sir, as long as Mr. Parker's here.
I demand you get that beast out of here.
Not until we present our evidence, sir. Chuck, that wallet is in Sidney's mouth.
It is. Oh, boy, am I proud of you. I know I could trust you. You decided to go straight.
Sakes, what is this, a naval base or a zoo? Somebody shoot him.
Order. Order in the court. McHale, you'll either have to produce the evidence or clear the court.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Chuck.
Huh? Oh, sure, no problem. Okay, Sidney boy. Open up. Come on, boy.
Hey, what is in here?
Good boy, Sid. Here you are, sir. Captain Binghamton's wallet.
Exhibit A for the defense.
This is not my wallet. He's lying, I tell you.
Wait, it's got your initials on it, sir. Right there, WB.
I don't care about that. This whole thing is a frame-up. They planted a phony wallet on a poor, unsuspecting alligator just to confuse this court.
Oh, well, now, wait a minute, sir. Wait a minute. Well, look here, sir. This is your wallet. Oh, and see? Here's my brand new 9 crisp $100 bills.
Your money, Carpenter?
Are you sure, Lieutenant?
Oh, I'm absolutely certain, sir. You see, when Captain Binghamton set this trap for Commander McHale, he marked my back pay.
Your Honor, I drop all charges against Ensign Parker.
Aha! So that's the way the cookie crumbles. It was a trap. All right, who is trying to frame who, Captain? Order! Order!
Sir, as lawyer for my own defense, I, the old defendant, charge the new defendant, Captain Wallace Binghamton, with trying to frame my client, a poor defenseless alligator.
You guys, don't let him fight me, Parker. He's coming at me. No! Fight
Well, I can't blame him, sir. After all, how would you like to be called stupid?
He's not stupid, he's brilliant. McHale, do something.
Hey, some for old Uncle Dudley. You know, this isn't bad booze.
For domestic, it's all right.
Gentlemen, I give you now the man of the hour, the genius of the courtroom, that Clarence Darrow from Chagrin Falls, our own Charles Legal Parker.
Yeah! Oh, you've got them this time, sir. See those bottles? That's your champagne, sir.
I've seen enough. Let's go.
Hold it. Wait a minute. Binghamton will hear us clean over the main side, doggone. We wouldn't want to... Man,
Working on a song, Charlie admitted, picking up his guitar. It's about waiting. For the right moment. He played a few chords, the melody soft and haunting. Sarah watched him, her expression unreadable. When the last note faded, the silence in the trailer was heavy with things unsaid. Charlie, she began, her voice soft. I know, he said, setting the guitar aside. The job comes first, always. Does it have to? She asked. Before he could answer, his phone buzzed. A lead on the watch. The deckhand, Blaine, had been spotted. The moment was gone, tucked away for another night. Chapter 4. Distilled Secrets. The murder of William Devereaux at his own distillery brought a different kind of tension. This wasn't about hidden codes. It was about family. Find 5 people, D/, find 5 people, find 5 people, find 5 people. The Devereaux children were at each other's throats, and the master distiller, Grant, seemed to be hiding a secret ingredient that was literally to die for. Rex's nose was the star of this investigation. Charlie watched with pride as the dog identified the scent of Labrador tea, the secret botanical that had caused so much strife. But the case took a dark turn when the spirit's critic, Simone Sawyer, was poisoned. It's tetrazoline, Sarah said, her face pale as she read the lab results. Eye drops. It's a classic way to poison someone without leaving an obvious trace. It causes the heart to slow down until it just... Charlie felt a chill. The calculated cruelty of the killer reminded him of why he did this job and why he was so protective of the people in his inner circle. Stay close to me on this one, Sarah, Charlie said, as they prepared to confront the Devereaux family. I can take care of myself. Detective, she reminded him, though she didn't move away. I know you can. But I'd rather you didn't have to. The climax at the Devereaux mansion was a Shakespearean tragedy. Melanie Devereaux, the daughter who felt she had been overlooked, had drowned her father in a vat of his own gin. When Rex cornered her, she didn't show remorse. She showed only the cold, hard shell of someone who had let bitterness consume her. As Melanie was led away, Sarah stood by the distillery vats, looking tired. Charlie walked up to her and handed her a cup of water. Another one for the books, he said. They're all starting to feel like the same book, Charlie. Greed, anger, betrayal. She looked at him, her eyes searching his. Is that all there is? No, Charlie said firmly. There's the people who stand against it. There's us. Chapter 5. The Cape Royal Heartbeat. The final straw came with the Craner case. Jason Craner and his son, Tyler, were the royalty of the Street John's underworld. Vicious, well-funded, and seemingly untouchable. When they murdered a low-level snitch named Malcolm Carter, a witness named Wyatt Donner fled into the woods of Cape Royal. Charlie, Jesse, and Rex went in after him. Sarah stayed at the trailhead, managing the logistics, her voice a constant, comforting presence in Charlie's ear over the radio. Charlie, be careful. We have intel that Jason has sent a professional hit woman, Serena Rickett, into the woods after the witness. She's lethal. Copy that, Sarah. We're moving to the high ground. The woods were a maze of thick brush and sudden cliffs. When the shots rang out, Charlie didn't even feel the impact at first. He just felt the sudden cold, the way the world tilted. Mark, you've been hit. Jesse's voice was panicked. Charlie slumped against a tree, his hand moving to his shoulder. It was slick with blood. Rex was there instantly, his body a warm shield, a low growl vibrating in his chest. I'm fine, Charlie wheezed into the radio. Sarah. Charlie? Charlie, talk to me. Sarah's voice wasn't professional anymore. It was raw. It was terrified. The hours that followed were a blur. Charlie moved on pure instinct, guided by Rex's silent commands. They set a trap for Rickett, using the terrain and the shepherd's incredible speed. When the police helicopter finally descended and the tactical team swarmed the clearing, Rickett was pinned under Rex's paws, and Charlie was barely clinging to consciousness. The first person he saw when the stretcher reached the trailhead was Sarah. She was running, her face streaked with tears, ignoring the orders of the EMTs. Charlie, she sobbed, grabbing his hand as they loaded him into the ambulance. I told you. I'd be fine, he whispered, his voice cracking. You're an idiot, she said, her voice trembling. Don't you ever do that to me again. She didn't let go of his hand all the way to the hospital. And as the sirens wailed and the lights of Street John's flashed past the window, Charlie knew that the waiting he had sung about was over. Epilogue. The view from the hill. 2 weeks later, Charlie stood on the bluff overlooking the Atlantic. His arm was in a sling, and his movements were stiff, but the air was clear. Rex sat beside him, his tail thumping rhythmically against the grass. He heard the crunch of gravel and turned to see Sarah walking toward him. She was carrying 2 coffees, one fancy, one black. The doctor said you shouldn't be out here, she said, handed him the cup. The doctor doesn't live in a trailer with a restless German shepherd, Charlie joked. They stood in silence for a long time, watching the waves crash against the jagged rocks below. The cases were closed. The Craners were behind bars. The Devereaux legacy was in ruins. And the yacht was a memory. Sarah, Charlie said, turning to her. Yes, Charlie, the song I was writing. I finished it. She looked at him, her eyes bright. And I realized it wasn't about waiting for the right moment. It was about realizing the moment has been here all along. Since the day I met you in that lab. Sarah stepped closer, her hand resting on the one arm he could still move. She leaned in, her forehead resting against his. It took you long enough, detective, she whispered. And there, under the vast Newfoundland sky, with Rex as their only witness, Charlie finally closed the distance. The kiss tasted like coffee and salt air, and for the first time in his life, Charlie Hudson wasn't looking for a suspect. He was exactly where he was meant to be. The End. Whispers in the Fog. A novel of suspense and desire, based on the chronicles of Hudson and Rex. Prologue. The Salt. In the Air. Street John's, Newfoundland, was a city built on the edge of the world, where the salt air clung to the colorful houses like a lover who refused to let go. For Detective Mark Hudson, the city was more than a jurisdiction. It was a sanctuary. After the jagged edges of his past in Toronto, the mist that rolled off the Atlantic felt like a cool bandage on an old wound. But even in the quietest harbors, the water runs deep and cold. Mark stood on the deck of his trailer, the wood grain rough beneath his palms. They were waiting, not for a call, not for a crime, but for the one person whose presence made the fog feel less like a shroud and more like a veil. Dr. Sarah Truong. When he saw her car pull up, his heart did that small, treasonous skip it always did. She stepped out, her coat cinched tight against the North Atlantic breeze, her dark hair catching the amber light of the setting sun. She wasn't just his lead forensic scientist. She was the rhythm to his melody, the logic to his instinct. And today, the city was about to break. Chapter 1. The Snatch Job. The morning began with a scream that was muffled before it could reach the neighbors. Megan Schaefer was a woman of routine, a brilliant lawyer, a private soul, and currently a woman living in a nightmare. As she walked the familiar path from Wilkins Law, the shadows seemed to reach out for her. It wasn't the first time she had felt watched, but it was the first time the watcher stepped into the light. Jamie, I told you, it's over, she had hissed earlier that day. But Jamie Bregman, her ex-lover and colleague, wasn't a man who took no for an answer. The tension at the law firm was a pressure cooker, and Megan was the valve. When Mark arrived at the scene, the air was still thick with the scent of ozone and fear. He found Sarah already there, crouching over a discarded briefcase. Mark, she said, her voice a low vibration that always centered him. Not all of them, Mark replied, glancing at Rex. Their investigation led them to Emma Janssen, a mother whose world revolved around her 12-year-old son Brian. Brian was a boy who lived in a world of silence and color. Autistic, deeply sensitive, and the only witness to Megan's abduction. He doesn't speak, detective, Emma said, her eyes brimming with a mother's desperation. He draws. It's how he tells us what he sees. Mark watched as Sarah approached the boy. She didn't tower over him. She knelt, offering a quiet strength that Brian seemed to sense. It was in these moments the softness in her eyes, the way she could communicate without a single word of jargon, that Mark felt himself falling deeper into the gravity of her soul. "Rex can help," Sarah whispered to Mark. "Animals, they bridge the gap." As Rex sat beside Brian, a silent pact was formed. The boy began to draw. His hand moved with a frantic, crystalline precision. He wasn't just drawing a man, he was drawing a monster. Chapter 2. Fragile Alibis. The ransom demand came like a thunderclap. $2 million. Unmarked, untraceable. The prime suspect was Jamie Bregman. He had the motive bitterness over the breakup and the opportunity. He was also under investigation for irregularities in the firm's escrow accounts. But as Mark and Rex tracked the scent, the trail led to a white van parked in a desolate lot. Inside, the horror escalated. Jamie Bregman was there, but he wasn't the kidnapper. He was a corpse. Single stab wound, Sarah noted, her gloved hands moving with clinical grace over Jamie's body. Professional. Cold. This wasn't a crime of passion, Mark. This was an execution. The romantic tension between Mark and Sarah usually existed in the silences between their work. But as they stood in the cramped confines of that van, the proximity was electric. He could smell the faint scent of her perfume, sandalwood, and citrus clashing with the metallic tang of blood. "If Jamie didn't do it," Mark said, his voice husky, "then Megan is in even more danger. She's with a killer who doesn't leave loose ends." They realized the truth through Brian's drawings. The man the boy had drawn wasn't Jamie. It was Earl Blackburn, a career criminal with a history of violence and a connection to the law firm's senior partner, Todd. The betrayal cut deep. Todd, the man Megan trusted, had orchestrated the kidnapping to cover his own embezzlement, using Earl as his muscle and Jamie as his scapegoat. In the final confrontation at an abandoned machine shop, Mark felt the familiar surge of adrenaline. But beneath it was a new fear. The fear of what his life would be if Sarah weren't at the end of every radio call. "Rex, find her." The dog crashed through the debris, leading them to a cellar where Megan was bound. As Mark took down Earl, he saw Sarah rush to Megan's side. The relief on Sarah's face when she looked up at him was a beacon. In that look, there were no secrets, only the shared weight of a city saved once more. Chapter 3. The Ghost on the Water. The peace didn't last. In Street John's, the sea always takes its due. The best kind was a luxury yacht that looked like a palace of glass and steel against the dark harbor. But inside, it was a tomb. Jacob Kaufman, a tech mogul with a reputation for cruelty, was found pinned to the deck by a spear gun. Mark stood on the dock, watching the rhythmic bobbing of the boats. Sarah was already on board, her silhouette framed by the amber glow of the cabin lights. "He was a difficult man to love," Sarah said, looking at the body of Kaufman. His wife, Andrea, his partner, Veronica, even the crew, everyone had a reason to want him gone. "Hate is a powerful motivator," Mark agreed, stepping onto the teak deck. "But so is greed." The investigation was a maze of nautical knots. The spear gun was a ghost. No one on the boat claimed to own it. The salt water on the weapon suggested the killer hadn't come from the cabin, but from the ocean itself. As they worked the case, Mark and Sarah found themselves spending long hours on the yacht. One evening, as the fog rolled in, obscuring the shore, they stood on the flybridge. The world felt reduced to just the two of them and the dark, heaving water. "Do you ever think about leaving it all behind?" Mark asked, his eyes on the horizon. "Just sailing until the map runs out?" Sarah smiled, a small, sad curve of her lips. "I think the maps always find us, Mark. We're the ones who fix what's broken. We don't get to run." He reached out, his hand hovering near hers. The air between them was thick with 1,000 unspoken words. "I wouldn't want to run if you weren't there." The moment was broken by Rex's bark. The dog had found something, a hidden compartment containing a watch. Not just any watch, but a gold reproduction of a 1966 diver's timepiece. Inside was the motive, a 6-4-digit hexadecimal code for a cryptocurrency fortune. The killer was Veronica, Kaufman's business partner. She had used a tour boat owned by her cousin to sneak onto the yacht, diving into the freezing water to deliver the killing blow. She had tried to frame the deckhand, Blaine, but she hadn't accounted for Rex's nose or the unwavering bond between Hudson and Trong. When the handcuffs clicked on Veronica's wrists, the dawn was just breaking. Mark looked at Sarah, her face pale from exhaustion, but beautiful in the morning light. He knew then that he didn't need to sail away to find peace. Peace was right here, in the line of her jaw and the strength of her hands. Chapter 4. Mother's Ruin. The third week brought the scent of juniper and the bitter taste of betrayal. William Devereux, the patriarch of a legendary gin distillery, was found drowned in one of his own vats. It was a poetic, brutal end for a man who had built an empire on Mother's ruin. It wasn't an accident, Sarah confirmed, her voice echoing in the vast, copper-lined room of the distillery. He was struck from behind and dragged. He was alive when he went into the gin. The Devereux family was a nest of vipers. Alan, the eldest son, Melanie, the ambitious daughter, and Jaden, the CFO. Each of them stood to inherit a fortune, but only if William didn't change his will. Mark found himself drawn into the sensory world of the distillery. The smell was overwhelming: botanicals, herbs, and the sharp sting of alcohol. But Rex found a different scent: Labrador tea, a local botanical that was the secret ingredient in William's new, revolutionary blend. As the case deepened, a spirit critic, Simone Sawyer, was poisoned. The stakes were rising, and the web of lies was tightening around the Devereux children. During the investigation, Mark and Sarah shared a quiet dinner at a small bistro near the harbor. The candlelight danced in her eyes, and for a moment, the murders and the vats of gin felt a world away. "You're thinking about the case," Sarah teased softly, reaching across the table to touch his arm. "I'm thinking about how much I hate that I have to bring you to places where people die," Mark admitted. "You don't bring me, Mark. I'm there because I want to be. Because we're a team." The word team felt too small. They were a heartbeat. The truth of the Devereux murder was a tragedy of errors. Alan had struck his father in a fit of rage, but it was Melanie who had finished the job. She had seen her father unconscious, and, fearing he would disinherit her, she had dragged him to the vat. She was the one who had poisoned the critic to frame her brothers. In the end, as the police cruisers lined the Devereux estate, Mark watched the family collapse. He looked at Rex, then at Sarah. "Some families are built on secrets," he said. "And some are built on truth," Sarah replied, taking his hand for the first time in public. Her grip was firm, a promise of something more than just a partnership. Chapter 5. The Wilderness Within. The final act began with a gunshot in the woods. Tyler Craner, the son of a notorious crime lord, had finally stepped too far. He had killed a low-level blackmailer, Malcolm Carter, and there was a witness, Wyatt Donner, a hiker who had seen the whole thing. "We have to find him before they do," Mark said, his face set in a grim mask. The search led them deep into the rugged terrain of Cape Royal. The weather was turning. A storm was brewing, the kind that turned the Newfoundland wilderness into a labyrinth of grey stone and biting wind. Mark, Sarah, Rex, and Jesse, their tech expert, pushed into the brush, but they weren't alone. Serena Rickett, a professional hit woman hired by the Craners, was hunting them. The tension of the trail was a catalyst. In the quiet moments between the climb, Mark and Sarah found themselves closer than ever. Every brush of a shoulder, every shared canteen of water, felt like a confession. "If anything happens..." Mark started, pausing by a ridge that overlooked the churning Atlantic. "Nothing is going to happen," Sarah interrupted, her eyes fierce. "Because I'm not letting you out of my sight. But the wilderness is indifferent to love." In a clearing near the cliffside, the confrontation happened. Serena was a ghost in the trees, her rifle a silent judge. A shot rang out, echoing off the rock faces. Mark felt the impact before he felt the pain. "Mark!" Sarah's scream was the only thing that kept him conscious. Rex was a blur of fur and fury, launching himself at the assassin. Jesse moved to protect the witness, but Sarah was on the ground with Mark, her hands instantly applying pressure to the wound, her face a mask of concentrated terror and love. "Stay with me, Mark," Look at me. I'm looking. He wheezed, the cold of the ground seeping into his bones. The firefight was a blur. The sound of the police helicopter finally breaking through the clouds was the sweetest music he had ever heard. Donovan and the tactical team swarmed the ridge, taking Serena down. But for Mark, the only thing that mattered was the warmth of Sarah's tears on his cheek. Epilogue. The harbor lights. Weeks later, the trailer was quiet. The wound in Mark's shoulder had healed into a jagged scar, a souvenir of the Cape Royal Trail. The sun was setting over the harbor, painting the sky in bruises of purple and gold. Rex lay on the rug, his tail thumping a steady rhythm against the floor. There was a knock at the door. Sarah stepped in, carrying a bag of takeout and a bottle of wine. She looked at him, really looked at him, and the air in the room seemed to vanish. "You look better," she said, her voice soft. "I feel better, especially now." They sat on the small deck, watching the lights of Street John's flicker to life. The city was a patchwork of stories, some tragic, some hopeful, all of them beautiful. "We've seen a lot of darkness lately," Sarah said, leaning her head against his good shoulder. "The darkness doesn't matter," Mark replied, turning to face her. He reached out, his fingers tracing the line of her jaw. "As long as we have the light to find our way back." He kissed her then. It wasn't a tentative kiss, but one born of months of longing and the realization of how fragile life could be. Beneath them, the Atlantic continued its eternal pulse. The fog began to roll in, wrapping the trailer in a soft, white embrace. But inside, there was only warmth. In the city of Street Johns, the secrets were many and the winters were long. But for Mark Hudson and Sarah Trong, the whispers in the fog were no longer a warning, they were a song. And as Rex rested his head on his paws, watching over them, the map finally stopped moving. They were exactly where they were meant to be. The end. Echoes of the Atlantic. A tale of mystery, loyalty, and love in Street Johns. Chapter I. The salt in the air. The fog in Street Johns didn't just roll in, it breathed. It was a living thing, a heavy, salt-laden shroud that clung to the brightly colored houses of Jellybean Row and muffled the cries of the gulls circling the harbor. For Detective Charlie Hudson, the mist was a familiar companion, but today it felt heavier. He sat on the tailgate of his truck, the cool dampness of the morning seeping through his jacket. Beside him, Rex, his German Shepherd partner, sat with ears pricked, his golden brown eyes scanning the horizon. There was a silent understanding between them. A bond forged in blood, sweat, and 1,000 miles of Newfoundland road. "Going to be a long one, Rex," Charlie murmured, reaching out to scratch the dog behind his ears. Rex huffed a breath of agreement, his tail thumping once against the metal. Charlie's mind wasn't just on the caseload, it was on Sarah Truong. Sarah, with her clinical brilliance, and the way her eyes softened when she looked at Rex, and occasionally, when she looked at him, they had been dancing on the edge of something for a long time. A shared look over a crime scene, a lingering hand on a shoulder after a hard day. But in the world of the Major Crimes Unit, something was a dangerous word. The chime of his phone broke the silence. "Back to work, partner," Charlie said, his voice tightening. The piece was over. Chapter 2. The Boy Who Draws Truth. The Johnson household was a portrait of controlled chaos and raw fear. Emma Johnson, a single mother with eyes red from crying, gripped a stack of drawing paper as if it were a lifeline. "Brian doesn't speak much," Emma explained, her voice trembling as she led Charlie and Sarah into the living room. "He sees the world in lines and shadows. He's been out there for hours." Charlie knelt down, Rex following his lead. In the corner of the room, 12-year-old Brian sat hunched over, his hands moving with frantic precision. A very specific silver van with a dent in the rear bumper. He saw her. Sarah whispered, standing close to Charlie. He could smell the faint scent of her perfume, something like sandalwood and rain, cutting through the stale air of the room. He saw Megan being taken. "We need to get him to trust us," Charlie said. He looked at Rex. "Hey, pal, go say hello." Rex approached the boy with a slow, rhythmic gait. He didn't bark. He didn't demand attention. He simply sat 3 feet away and lowered his head. Slowly, Brian's hand stopped moving. He looked at the dog. A connection sparked, one that bypassed words and went straight to the soul. While Rex worked his magic, Charlie and Sarah stepped into the kitchen. "The ransom is $2 million, Charlie said, showing her the text on his phone. "Jamie Bregden, the ex-boyfriend, is our prime suspect. He's deep in debt, and Megan was about to expose him for embezzling from the firm." "It's too neat, Charlie," Sarah countered, her brow furrowing in that way he found endearingly stubborn. "The forensic evidence, the hair we found, it's brown, but it doesn't quite match Jamie's profile. There's something else here. I hope you're right," Charlie said, his gaze lingering on her. "Because if it's not Jamie, then Megan is with someone far more dangerous." Chapter 3. The Exchange and the Betrayal. The investigation moved at a breakneck pace. The silver van was found, but it contained a grim surprise. Jamie Bregden was dead inside, his life ended by a single, professional stab wound. He wasn't the kidnapper, Charlie realized, looking at the body as Sarah began her preliminary exam. He was the scapegoat. "Look at this, Charlie," Sarah said, pointing to tiny shards of chromium in the wound. "This wasn't a crime of passion. This was industrial. A chop shop." The trail led them to Earl Blackburn, a man Charlie had put away years ago. But the mastermind wasn't a career criminal. It was Todd, a partner at Megan's law firm. He had used Earl to do the dirty work, intending to kill Megan and split the ransom. The standoff at the abandoned machine shop was a blur of shouting and gunfire. Charlie moved with a grace that only years of field experience could provide, Rex a silent shadow at his side. When they finally found Megan, bound and terrified in a back room, the relief in the air was palpable. As the paramedics took Megan, Sarah walked over to Charlie. She was covered in dust, her hair slightly disheveled. "You did it," she said softly. "We did it," he corrected. He reached out, almost instinctively, and tucked a stray lock of hair behind her ear. His fingers lingered for a second too long to be just professional. She didn't pull away. "Brian is going to be okay, Charlie. Rex saved him today." "Rex saved us all," Charlie said, but his eyes were fixed on her. Chapter 4. The Yacht and the Golden Watch. Peace in Street Jones was a fleeting thing. No sooner had the Schaefer case closed than a new nightmare surfaced in the harbor. Jacob Kaufman, a wealthy investor from Toronto, was found pinned to the deck of his luxury yacht, the best kind, by a spear. The crime scene was a masterpiece of high society dysfunction. A grieving widow, a bitter business partner, and a crew that hated their employer with a passion that bordered on homicidal. "He was a bully, Sarah," Charlie said as they walked the docks, the salt spray misting their faces. "Everyone on that boat had a reason to want him dead. But the spear, Charlie," Sarah noted, showing him the lab results. "It was coated in seawater and ocean bacteria. The killer didn't bring it on board. They pulled it from the water." The investigation took a romantic turn, not for the suspects, but for Charlie and Sarah. Between interviews, they found themselves sharing a quiet dinner at a small bistro overlooking the Narrows. "Do you ever think about it?" Sarah asked, swirling the wine in her glass. "The life we lead? Always chasing shadows?" Charlie looked out at the lights of the city. "I used to think that was all there was. The chase. But lately, I've been thinking about what happens when the chase ends." Their eyes met, the candlelight reflecting the unspoken questions between them. Before Charlie could speak, his phone rang. Jesse had found a lead. Allez-vous. The killer hadn't come from the boat, they had swum to it. The mystery of Jacob Kaufman wasn't just about hate, it was about a watch. A reproduction 1966 diving watch that held the key to a 64-digit cryptocurrency code worth hundreds of millions. Veronica Goodwin, the business partner, had orchestrated the entire thing, killing Kaufman and even his co-conspirator to get her hands on the digital fortune. In the final confrontation on the yacht, as Veronica held a gun to a deckhand's head, Charlie saw the coldness in her eyes. It was a stark contrast to the warmth he felt when he was with Sarah. He realized then that he couldn't lose this, the life they were building. However, slowly, Chapter V. The third arc of the season brought them to the Devereux Distillery, a historic landmark in the city. Willem Devereux, the patriarch of the family, had been found drowned in a vat of his own gin. A poetic way to go for a master distiller, Joe Donovan remarked. His arms crossed as he surveyed the scene, but Charlie saw the tragedy. A family torn apart by greed and a secret ingredient that Willem had guarded with his life. Rex found something, Charlie said, pointing to a patch of Labrador tea in the distillery's back room. Sarah's eyes lit up. Labrador tea? It's a local botanical, but in high concentrations, it can be toxic. Or, in the hands of a rival, it's $1 million trade secret. The romance between Charlie and Sarah deepened during this case. They spent hours in the lab together, analyzing botanical samples. There was a comfort in their shared silence, a rhythm to their work that felt like a dance. You have a good nose, detective, Sarah teased as Charlie identified a scent. I learned from the best, he said, nodding toward Rex, who was napping in the corner. I wasn't talking about the dog, she whispered, her voice low. The case reached a tragic climax. It wasn't the rival company that had killed Willem. It was his own daughter, Melanie. She had discovered her father was changing his will to leave her the company, a gesture of love she had misinterpreted as a final act of control. She had struck him in a fit of rage, and he had stumbled into the vat. As they led Melanie away in handcuffs, the weight of the family's betrayal hung heavy on Charlie. He walked Sarah to her car that night. Family shouldn't be like that, he said. It's not always, Sarah replied. He squeezed her hand. I think I've chosen mine. Chapter 6. The Shadows of Cape Royal. The final case of the season was the one that nearly broke them. A murder at the docks. Malcolm Carter, a small-time crook, witnessed by a young hiker named Wyatt Donner. Wyatt had fled into the woods of Cape Royal, and the killers, the notorious Craner family, had sent a professional hitwoman, Serena Rickett, to silence him. We have to get to him before she does, Charlie said, his voice grim as he packed his gear. The hike into the Cape Royal wilderness was grueling. The terrain was rocky, the weather unpredictable. Charlie, Sarah, and Rex moved through the brush, the silence of the woods amplifying every snap of a twig. You okay? Charlie asked, noticing Sarah's labored breathing. I'm fine, she insisted, though she looked pale. Just keep moving. They found Wyatt, but they also found Serena. The shootout in the clearing was a nightmare of echoes and shadows. In the chaos, a bullet grazed Charlie's arm. Charlie! Sarah cried out, moving toward him, even as the hitwoman fired again. Stay down, Charlie roared. He and Rex worked in a perfect, desperate synchronicity. Rex flanked the hitwoman, his bark a thunderous distraction, while Charlie moved in. It was a brutal struggle, but Charlie finally subdued her. As the police helicopters began to circle overhead, the adrenaline faded, leaving only the cold and the pain. Sarah was at Charlie's side in an instant, her hands shaking as she examined his wound. It's just a scratch, he lied, his teeth gritting. It's a bullet wound, you idiot, she snapped, but her eyes were full of tears. She leaned forward, pressing her forehead against his. Don't you ever do that again. Don't you dare leave me. Charlie reached up with his good arm and pulled her into a kiss. It was desperate, salty, and tasted of the Atlantic air. But it was the most real thing he had ever felt. Rex sat beside them, a silent guardian in the moonlight, his tail wagging slowly. Chapter 7. The Quiet After the Storm. Weeks later, the dust had settled. The Craners were behind bars, the Devereux Distillery was under new management, and the city of Street Johns was, for a moment, at peace. Charlie and Sarah sat on the porch of his trailer, watching the sun dip below the horizon. The sky was a bruised purple, the ocean a deep, restless indigo. Donovan's potato salad? Sarah asked, offering him a fork. The best in the province, Charlie said, taking a bite. They sat in silence for a long time, the only sound, the lapping of the waves and Rex's steady breathing at their feet. So, Sarah said, leaning her head on his shoulder, what's next for us? Charlie looked at her, the woman who had become his anchor in the storm. He didn't know what the next case would bring. He didn't know how many more miles they would have to travel or how many more shadows they would have to chase. But as he pulled her closer, he knew one thing for certain. Whatever it is, Charlie said softly, we do it together. Rex looked up, his ears pricking as if he'd heard a distant call. He huffed a breath, rested his chin on Charlie's knee, and closed his eyes. The salt air was cold, but on the porch of the small trailer, there was only warmth. The end. Shadows of the North Atlantic. A novel of mystery, loyalty, and love. Chapter 1. The Echo of a Scream. The fog in Street John's didn't just roll in. It breathed. It was a living thing. Cold and damp, smelling of salt and ancient secrets, clinging to the brightly colored houses of Jellybean Row like a shroud. For Detective Charlie Hudson, the mist was a familiar companion. But today, it felt heavy with an unspoken dread. Charlie stood on the sidewalk, his hands deep in the pockets of his coat. Beside him, Rex, a German shepherd whose intelligence often eclipsed that of the humans around him, stood perfectly still. Rex's ears were pricked, his nose twitching as he sampled the air. He felt it too, the disruption in the rhythm of the city. What is it, partner? Charlie whispered. Rex didn't bark. He simply looked up at Charlie with those deep, soulful eyes, then turned his gaze toward a discarded sketchpad lying face down in a puddle. Just hours earlier, the world had been normal, or as normal as it ever got for Megan Schaefer. Megan, a brilliant and private lawyer at Wilkins Law, had been walking home to clear her head. Her relationship with Jamie, a colleague, had ended in a flurry of hushed arguments and unresolved tension. She needed space. She needed to think. But Megan never made it home. The call had come in as a snatch job. A witness, a young boy, had seen something. As Charlie arrived at the scene, he met Emma Jansen, a woman whose face was a map of maternal agony. He's different, Emma said, her voice trembling as she clutched a worn sweater to her chest. My son, Brian. He has autism. He doesn't speak much, but he sees. He sees everything. Charlie knelt down to be at eye level with the woman. We're going to find him, Emma. And we're going to find out what he saw. He was drawing, she sobbed. He always draws when he's overwhelmed. He was right here. And then, he was gone. Rex approached Emma slowly. In a display of empathy that never failed to move Charlie, the dog rested his heavy head on Emma's knee. The tension in her shoulders broke, and she reached out to stroke Rex's soft ears. He likes you, Charlie noted softly. Rex has a way with people who are hurting. As they began the search, Charlie's mind drifted, as it often did, to Sarah Truong. Sarah was the lead forensic scientist, the woman who could make a single strand of hair tell a life story. She was also the woman who occupied more of Charlie's thoughts than he cared to admit. Their relationship was a delicate dance of professional respect and a simmering, unspoken attraction. In the chaos of a kidnapping, those feelings had to be buried. But they were always there, humming beneath the surface like a power line. Chapter 2. The Silent Witness. The investigation moved with a frantic pace. Every second Megan was missing was a second closer to a tragic end. Charlie and Rex found Brian huddled under a pier, his eyes wide and vacant, staring at the churning grey waters of the harbor. He was vibrating with a fear so profound he couldn't even cry. Easy, Brian, Charlie said, keeping his distance. We're friends. Rex didn't wait for instructions. He trotted over to the boy and sat down, a calm sentinel in the face of the storm. Slowly, Brian's hand moved from his side, his small fingers burying themselves in Rex's fur. The boy's breathing began to level out. He saw the face, Charlie realized, watching the boy's focused gaze. He saw the man who took Megan. Back at the station, the atmosphere was electric. Sarah was already analyzing the few clues they had: brown hair, found at the scene, a discarded briefcase. Jamie has brown hair, Sarah said, looking up from her microscope as Charlie entered the lab. The blue light of the equipment cast sharp angles on her face, making her look ethereal and tired all at once. So do 10,000 other people in Street John's, Charlie countered, leaning against the sterile table. You look like you haven't slept, Sarah. I can sleep when Megan is home, she replied, a small sad smile playing on her lips. What about the boy? Rex got through to him. He's drawing now. If Brian can give us a face, we have a chance. Charlie reached out, his hand hovering near Sarah's shoulder, wanting to offer comfort, but hesitating at the invisible line they had drawn between them. Sarah felt the heat of his presence, the steady, grounding force that he always was. "We'll find her, Charlie," she whispered. "We have to." The drawing Brian produced was haunting. It was someone harder, someone with eyes that had seen the inside of a prison cell. The twist came shortly after. Jamie, the primary suspect, the man everyone thought had snapped after a breakup, was found in a rental van. But he wasn't the kidnapper. He was a corpse. Single stab wound, Sarah reported later, her voice clinical but her eyes dark with concern. Professional. He was killed elsewhere and dumped here. This wasn't a crime of passion, Charlie. This was a liquidation. Chapter 3. The Price of Silence. The ransom demand came through like a thunderclap. As the team dug deeper into the law firm where Megan and Jamie worked, the veneer of professional respectability began to crack. Todd, the firm's senior partner, appeared devastated. But Rex sensed something else. Whenever Todd spoke, Rex's hackles rose, a low rumble vibrating in his chest. "Dogs know," Charlie muttered to himself. The plan was set. They would deliver the money, but Sarah had a secret weapon. She had developed a synthetic scent, undetectable to humans, but a beacon for a dog like Rex. "I'm spraying the bills," Sarah explained, her fingers steady despite the stakes. "Rex will be able to follow the money, even if we lose sight of the vehicle." The drop-off was at the Forest Road Cemetery, a place of silence and stone. Charlie watched through binoculars as Megan's father, a man aged a decade in a single night, placed the duffel bag on a bench and walked away. What followed was a chaotic scramble. A teenager grabbed the bag, a decoy recruited through a gaming site. The real killer was a ghost moving through the shadows of the city. But Rex was faster. The scent of the synthetic powder was a neon sign in Rex's mind. He pulled at the leash, leading Charlie through the winding back alleys of the city, away from the polished streets and into the industrial rot of the harbor. They found Megan in an abandoned machine shop. She was bound, terrified, but alive. And standing over her, the man of integrity himself, Todd. The confrontation was swift. Todd had been embezzling from escrow accounts. Jamie had found out, and Megan was the leverage. It was an old story, greed disguised as ambition. When the handcuffs clicked shut on Todd's wrists, the tension in the air finally broke. Megan was reunited with her family, and Brian, the silent hero, finally smiled as he gave Rex one last pat. That night, the station was quiet. Sarah and Charlie sat on the steps of the building, the cool night air, a relief after the heat of the case. "You did good today, Hudson," Sarah said, leaning her head back against the brickwork. "Rex did the heavy lifting," Charlie replied, looking at the dogs sleeping at their feet. He turned to look at her. "Are we okay, Sarah?" The question was loaded with everything they hadn't said. Sarah looked at him, her eyes soft. "We're better than okay, Charlie. But I think we both need a drink. I know a place," he said, and for a moment, the shadows of the North Atlantic seemed just a little less dark. Chapter 4. Death on the Best Kind. A week later, the peace was shattered by a murder that felt like it belonged in a high society thriller. Jacob Kaufman, a tech mogul with more money than manners, was found pinned to the deck of a luxury yacht, the best kind, by a spear. The setting was beautiful, the sparkling blue of the Atlantic, the white hull of the ship, but the crime was ugly. Kaufman was a bully, a man who treated his wife, his partner, and his crew like disposable assets. Charlie and Rex arrived to find a scene of gilded misery. Andrea Kaufman, the widow, was a picture of practiced grief, but her eyes held a spark of something that looked suspiciously like relief. "He was a difficult man," she told Charlie, her voice cool. "But he didn't deserve this." "Most people don't," Charlie replied. Sarah was already on the boat, her kit spread out across the mahogany deck. "Seawater on the spear," she noted, pointing to a residue. The weapon was submerged before it was used. And the killer? They didn't come from the shore. They came from the water. The investigation centered on a missing deckhand, Blaine, a man with a criminal past who had been trying to go straight. He had fled the scene, making him the perfect scapegoat. But as Charlie interviewed the crew and the business partner, Veronica, a different pattern emerged. Kaufman wasn't just rich, he was crypto-rich. And the key to his fortune, a 64-digit code, was hidden in the one thing he never took off. His reproduction, 1966 diving watch. The watch was missing. The motive isn't just murder, Sarah said, joining Charlie in the galley. It's a heist. Whoever has that watch has the keys to a kingdom. The search for the watch became a race against a killer who was already among them. Veronica, the tech expert who had set up the crypto accounts, was the frontrunner. She was cold, calculating, and far more intelligent than Kaufman had ever given her credit for. She had used a local software engineer, Endicott, as her muscle. But when Endicott became a liability, she disposed of him as easily as a used filter. The climax took place back on the Best Kind. Veronica had returned for the watch, which Blaine had hidden in the ship's vents. Charlie and Rex moved through the darkened ship, the only sound the creaking of the hull. "Stay back, detective." Veronica's voice echoed through the cabin. She held a gun with the steadiness of someone who had long ago shed their conscience. "This money belongs to me. I did the work. Kaufman just had the capital." "Money doesn't buy your way out of a murder charge, Veronica," Charlie said, his hand on his holster. Rex moved silently, a shadow within a shadow. When Charlie gave the signal, the dog launched himself. The gun went off, a deafening roar in the confined space. But Rex was a blur of teeth and fur. The struggle was brief. As the police boats escorted the Best Kind back to the marina, Charlie stood at the rail. Sarah walked up beside him, handing him a coffee. "Another one for the books," she said. "I'm starting to think you're the one who's bad luck, Sarah," Charlie joked, though his eyes were warm. "Me? You're the one who attracts the spear gun-wielding assassins," she countered. They stood there in silence, watching the lights of Street John's grow closer. For the first time, Charlie didn't pull away. He let his hand rest near hers on the cold metal rail. Chapter 5. The secret ingredient. The third case came with a different kind of sting. William Devero, the patriarch of a legendary gin distillery, was found dead in one of his own vats. It was a macabre end for a man who had dedicated his life to the mother's ruin. The Devereux family was a viper's nest of resentment. There was Alan, the eldest son, who lived in his father's shadow. The daughter who had been cast out for wanting to innovate. He was a tyrant, Melanie told Charlie, her hands stained with the botanicals she used for her own skincare line. But he was my father. The mystery revolved around a secret ingredient in a new blend that William was about to announce. Everyone wanted it. Everyone had a reason to kill for it. Sarah's lab results were baffling. Labrador tea, she told Charlie. It's a local botanical. In small doses, it's a flavoring. In high concentrations, it's toxic. But William hadn't been poisoned. He had been struck and then drowned. The breakthrough came from Rex's nose. Charlie set up a dog-sized bar at the station, a series of glasses containing different gin blends. Rex, with a precision that stunned the observers, picked out the one glass containing the secret ingredient every single time. This led them to a hidden stash of the botanical in Grant McGovern's lab, the master distiller who had been shut out of the new recipe. But the truth was even more tragic. Alan had confronted his father about being cut out of the will. In a fit of rage, he had struck the old man. But he hadn't killed him. He had left him on the floor and fled. It was Melanie who had found her father. Seeing an opportunity to seize the legacy she felt she was owed, and believing her father was already a lost cause, she had dragged him to the vat. "I did what had to be done," she screamed as Charlie led her away. "He was never going to give me the credit I deserved." The case left a bitter taste in Charlie's mouth. He found Sarah in the break room, staring into a cup of tea. "Labrador tea?" he asked, sitting across from her. "Just regular Pecco," she said, offering a tired smile. "I don't think I'll be drinking gin for a long time." "Me neither." They sat in the quiet of the station, the weight of the Devereaux legacy hanging in the air. "Charlie," Sarah said softly. "Yeah? Don't ever let us become like that. Don't let the job eat us up." Charlie reached across the table and took her hand. This time, there was no hesitation. "I won't. I promise." Chapter 6. The Long Walk into the Woods. The final test came in the rugged wilderness of Cape Royal. A low-level criminal named Malcolm Carter had been murdered. The witness was Wyatt Donner, a young man who had seen Tyler Craner, the son of a local crime lord, pull the trigger. Wyatt had done the smart thing. He had vanished into the woods, but he wasn't alone. Jason Craner, the father, had hired a professional. Serena Rickett was a ghost, a woman who had left a trail of unsolved disappearances from Toronto to Montreal. She was a predator, and Wyatt was her prey. Charlie, Jesse, and Rex set out into the dense Newfoundland brush. The air was cold, and the ground was slick with moss and ancient stone. "He's here," Charlie said, looking at a footprint Rex had flagged. "But she's here too." The hike was a grueling journey of miles and minutes. They found Wyatt's camp, but as they were securing the witness, the first shot rang out. The bullet grazed Charlie's arm, a hot poker of pain that sent him spinning into the dirt. "Mark!" Jesse screamed, reaching for his gun. "Get him out of here," Charlie ordered, clutching his arm as blood soaked through his sleeve. "Jesse, take Wyatt and go. Rex and I will hold her off." "I'm not leaving you. That's an order. The witness is the priority." Reluctantly, Jesse led Wyatt away, disappearing into the trees. Charlie lay in the brush, his breathing shallow. "It's just us, buddy," Charlie whispered. Serena was good. She moved like smoke, but she didn't have a partner like Rex. The game of cat and mouse lasted for hours. Charlie used his knowledge of the terrain, setting false trails, leading the hit woman deeper into the ravine. When the final confrontation came, it was at the edge of a cliff, the Atlantic Ocean roaring below them. Serena stepped out from behind a cedar tree, her rifle leveled at Charlie's chest. "You're a persistent one, detective. I'll give you that." "It's over, Serena," Charlie said, his voice steady despite the blood loss. "The chopper is minutes away. My team has the witness. Then you're just a consolation prize," she sneered, her finger tightening on the trigger. But Charlie wasn't looking at her. He was looking at the shadow moving behind her. Rex hit. The dog was a thunderbolt. He hit Serena with the force of a freight train, the rifle spinning out of her hands and clattering over the cliffside. By the time the backup arrived, Serena was pinned to the ground, and Charlie was leaning against a tree, Rex sitting protectively at his side. The extraction was a blur. The next thing Charlie knew, he was in the back of an ambulance, and Sarah was there, her face pale and her eyes red. "You idiot," she whispered, her hand trembling as she touched his face. "You absolute idiot." "I had it under control," Charlie rasped. "You were shot, Charlie. You almost died." She didn't wait for him to respond. She leaned forward and kissed him, a desperate, fierce kiss that tasted of salt and relief, and 1,000 unspoken promises. Charlie pulled her closer, his heart hammering against his ribs. "I guess I owe you that drink now," he whispered when they finally broke apart. Sarah laughed, a wet, shaky sound. "You owe me a lot more than a drink, Hudson." As the ambulance sped toward the hospital, Rex sat on the floor, watching them with a satisfied look. He knew his job was done. The shadows of the North Atlantic were still there, but for the first time, Charlie Hudson wasn't walking through them alone. Note to user: this represents the first 5,000 words of your novel. To reach the 30,000 word goal, we can continue to expand on these chapters with more subplots, deeper romantic scenes between Charlie and Sarah, more forensic detail, and additional cases. Would you like me to continue with Volume 2? Shadows of the North Atlantic, a novel of mystery, loyalty, and love. Chapter 1. The echo of a scream. The fog in Street John's didn't just roll in, it breathed. It was a living thing, cold and damp, smelling of salt and ancient secrets, clinging to the brightly colored houses of Jellybean Row like a shroud. For Detective Charlie Hudson, The mist was a familiar companion, a grey veil that often mirrored the complexities of the cases he solved. But today, the air felt different, heavy, with an unspoken dread that even the rhythmic crashing of the Atlantic against the cliffs couldn't drown out. Charlie stood on the sidewalk, his hands deep in the pockets of his charcoal coat, his breath hitching in the freezing air. Beside him, Rex, a German shepherd whose intelligence often eclipsed that of the humans around him, stood perfectly still. Rex's ears were pricked, his amber eyes scanning the shifting shadows. His nose twitched, sampling the myriad of scents: the brine from the harbor, the exhaust from a distant freighter, and something else, something sharp and metallic that didn't belong. "What is it, partner?" Charlie whispered, his voice barely audible over the wind. Rex didn't bark. He simply looked up at Charlie with those deep, soulful eyes, then turned his gaze toward a discarded sketchpad lying face down in a muddy puddle. Charlie knelt, the dampness of the pavement seeping into his jeans. He flipped the pad over. It was filled with intricate, haunting drawing sketches of faces, buildings, and a recurring image of a black van with a distinctive dent on the rear door. Just hours earlier, the world had been normal, or as normal as it ever got for Megan Schaefer. Megan, a brilliant and fiercely private lawyer at Wilkins Law, had been walking home to clear her head. Her relationship with Jamie, a colleague, had ended in a flurry of hushed arguments and unresolved tension. She needed space. She needed to think. But Megan never made it to the quiet sanctuary of her apartment. The call had come in as a snatch job, a term that didn't begin to capture the sheer terror of being plucked from the safety of a familiar street. As Charlie arrived at the scene, he was met by Emma Jansen. Her face was a map of maternal agony, her eyes red-rimmed and hollow. "He's different," Emma said, her voice trembling as she clutched a worn, blue sweater to her chest. "My son, Brian. He has autism. He doesn't speak much, but he sees. He sees everything in patterns, Charlie. He sees the things we ignore." Charlie knelt down to be at eye level with her, a gesture of grounding in her world of chaos. "We're going to find him, Emma, and we're going to find out what he saw. Rex is the best in the business at finding people who don't want to be found." Rex approached Emma slowly, his movements deliberate and gentle, in a display of empathy that never failed to move Charlie. The dog rested his heavy head on Emma's knee, letting out a soft, reassuring huff. The tension in her shoulders broke, and she reached out to stroke Rex's soft, thick ears. "He likes you," Charlie noted softly. As they began the search, Charlie's mind drifted, as it often did, to Sarah Trong. Sarah was the lead forensic scientist, the woman who could make a single strand of hair tell a life story. She was also the woman who occupied more of Charlie's thoughts than he cared to admit. Their relationship was a delicate dance of professional respect and a simmering, unspoken attraction. In the chaos of a kidnapping, those feelings had to be buried under layers of procedural discipline, but they were always there, humming beneath the surface like a power line in a storm. Chapter 2. The Silent Witness and the Cold Lab. The investigation moved with a frantic pace. Every second Megan was missing was a second closer to a tragic end. The golden hour was tucking away, and the trail was growing as cold as the North Atlantic. Charlie and Rex found Brian huddled under a dilapidated pier near the old cannery. The boy was staring for his age, his eyes wide and vacant, staring at the churning grey waters of the harbor as if they held the answers he couldn't vocalize. He was vibrating with a fear so profound he couldn't even cry. "Easy, Brian," Charlie said, keeping his distance to respect the boy's space. "We're friends. We're here for Megan." Rex didn't wait for instructions. He trotted over to the boy and sat down exactly 3 feet away, a calm, non-threatening sentinel. Slowly, Brian's hand moved from his side, his small fingers burying themselves in Rex's thick fur. The boy's ragged breathing began to level out, synchronized with the dog's steady rhythm. He saw the face. Charlie realized, watching the boy's focused gaze. He didn't just see a kidnapping. He saw the man behind the mask. Back at the station, the atmosphere was electric, fueled by caffeine and desperation. Sarah was already in her element, the blue light of the forensics lab casting sharp, ethereal angles on her face. She looked tired, her eyes dark-circled, but her movements were precise as she analyzed the few clues they had brown hair found at the scene. A discarded briefcase with a broken clasp. Jamie has brown hair, Sarah said, looking up from her microscope as Charlie entered. The hum of the lab equipment was the only other sound. So do 10,000 other people in Street Johns, Charlie countered, leaning against a sterile stainless steel table. When was the last time you had a real meal? I can eat when Megan is home, she replied, a small, weary smile playing on her lips. What about the boy? Did Rex get through? He did. Brian's drawing now. He has this incredible photographic memory. If he can put that face on paper, we have a suspect. Charlie reached out, his hand hovering near Sarah's shoulder, wanting to offer a moment of comfort, but hesitating at the invisible line they had drawn between them years ago. Sarah felt the heat of his presence, the steady, grounding force that he always was in the middle of a case. For a heartbeat, the lab felt smaller, the air thicker. We'll find her. Charlie, she whispered, her voice cracking slightly. We have to. For Brian and for Megan, the drawing Brian produced was haunting. It wasn't a child's sketch. It was a photographic reconstruction of a nightmare. The man had hard, unforgiving eyes. Eyes that had seen the inside of a prison cell and felt no remorse. But the face in the drawing wasn't Jamie. The twist came shortly after, jarring the entire department. Jamie, the primary suspect, the man everyone thought had snapped after a bitter breakup, was found in a white rental van, abandoned in a parking lot. But he wasn't the kidnapper. He was a corpse. Single stab wound to the carotid, Sarah reported later, her voice clinical, but her eyes dark with concern as she stood over the body. Professional, clean, he was killed elsewhere and transported here. This wasn't a crime of passion, Charlie. This was a liquidation. Jamie wasn't the mastermind. He was the first victim of a much larger game. Chapter 3. The Price of Silence and the Scent of Greed. The ransom demand came through like a thunderclap, shattering the silence of the Schaefer household. $2 million. Unmarked. Untraceable. If the police were involved, Megan would die. Charlie knew they had to be invisible. As the team dug deeper into Wilkins' law, the veneer of professional respectability began to crack, revealing a rot underneath. Todd, the firm's senior partner, appeared devastated, playing the role of the concerned mentor to perfection. But Rex sensed the lie. Whenever Todd spoke, Rex's hackles rose, a low, guttural rumble vibrating in his chest that only Charlie could hear. Dogs know when a man's heart is black, Charlie muttered to himself, watching Todd's performative grief. The plan was set, a high-stakes gamble in the dark. They would allow the delivery of the money, but Sarah had a secret weapon, a chemical fingerprint. She had developed a synthetic scent, undetectable to the human nose, but a beacon for a dog with Rex's specialized training. I'm spraying the bills with a variant of pseudo-cocaine, Sarah explained, her fingers steady despite the stakes as she prepared the aerosol. It's a specific scent Rex has been conditioned to track. He'll be able to follow the money even if we lose sight of the vehicle in the city's labyrinth. The drop-off was at the Forest Road Cemetery, a place of silence, crumbling stone, and long shadows. Charlie watched through high-powered binoculars from a distance, his heart hammering against his ribs. He watched as Megan's father, a man aged a decade in a single night, placed the duffel bag on a stone bench and walked away without looking back, just as instructed. What followed was a chaotic scramble. A teenager grabbed the bag a decoy. A mule recruited through an anonymous gaming site. The real killer was a ghost, moving through the shadows of the city with a chilling efficiency. But Rex was faster than any ghost. The scent of the synthetic powder was a neon sign in Rex's mind. He pulled at the leash with a strength that nearly yanked Charlie off his feet, leading them through the winding back alleys of the city, away from the polished streets of the downtown core, and into the industrial rot of the harbor. They found Megan in an abandoned machine shop, the air thick with the smell of rust and old oil. She was bound to a chair, terrified, her eyes wide with the realization of her own mortality, and standing over her, the man of integrity himself, Todd. The confrontation was swift. Todd had been embezzling millions from escrow accounts to cover his own spiraling debts. Jamie had found out, and Megan had been the leverage used to keep Jamie silent. When Jamie proved too volatile, Todd had him killed. It was a story as old as time, greed disguised as ambition, ending in blood. When the heavy steel handcuffs clicked shut on Todd's wrists, the tension in the air finally broke. Megan was reunited with her family, in a blur of tears and sirens. Brian, the silent hero, finally smiled a genuine, heart-wrenching expression as he gave Rex one last, lingering pat on the head. That night, the station was unusually quiet. The adrenaline had faded, replaced by a deep, bone-aching exhaustion. Sarah and Charlie sat on the cold stone steps of the building, the cool night air a welcome relief. "You did good today, Hudson," Sarah said, leaning her head back against the brickwork and closing her eyes. "Rex did the heavy lifting," Charlie replied, looking at the dogs sleeping peacefully at their feet, his paws twitching as he dreamed of the chase. Charlie turned to look at Sarah, the moonlight catching the silver in her hair. "Are we okay, Sarah? Really?" The question was loaded with everything they hadn't said, the near misses, the unspoken fears, the way they looked at each other when the world wasn't falling apart. Sarah opened her eyes and looked at him, her expression soft and vulnerable. "We're better than okay, Charlie, but I think we both need a drink, something strong. I know a place that doesn't ask questions," he said, and for a moment, the shadows of the North Atlantic seemed just a little less dark. Chapter 4. Death on the Best Kind. A week later, the fragile peace was shattered by a murder that felt like it had been ripped from the pages of a high society thriller. Jacob Kaufman, a tech mogul with more money than manners and a reputation for crushing anyone in his path, was found dead. He wasn't just murdered, he was executed, pinned to the teak deck of his luxury yacht, the Best Kind, by a stainless steel spear. The setting was jarringly beautiful. The sparkling deep blue of the Atlantic, the pristine white hull of the ship, the scent of expensive champagne still lingering in the air. But the crime was visceral and ugly. Kaufman had been a bully, a man who treated his wife, Andrea, his business partner, Veronica, and his crew like disposable assets in a corporate takeover. Charlie and Rex arrived to find a scene of gilded misery. Andrea Kaufman was a picture of practiced, upper-class grief, her black silk dress fluttering in the sea breeze. But her eyes held a spark of something that Charlie recognized immediately: relief. He was a difficult man to love, she told Charlie, her voice as cool as the ocean spray. But he was my husband. He didn't deserve to die like a hunted animal. Most people don't, Charlie replied, his eyes scanning the deck. But someone clearly thought otherwise. Sarah was already on the boat, her forensic kit spread out across the expensive mahogany. She was wearing a windbreaker over her scrubs, her hair tied back tightly. "Seawater on the spear," she noted, pointing to a crystalline residue. The weapon was submerged for hours before it was used. "The killer didn't come from the shore, Charlie. They came from the water, a diver." The investigation initially centered on a missing deckhand named Blaine, a man with a criminal past who had been trying to go straight. He had fled the scene, making him the perfect scapegoat for the rich and powerful. But as Charlie interviewed the crew and the business partner, Veronica, a different, more complex pattern emerged. Kaufman wasn't just rich in the traditional sense, he was crypto-rich, and the key to his immense fortune, a 64-digit hexadecimal code, was hidden in the one thing he never took off: his reproduction 1966 Canaveri diving watch. The watch was missing from the scene. "The motive isn't just murder," Sarah said later that evening, joining Charlie in the cramped galley of the yacht as the sun began to set. "It's a heist. Whoever has that watch has the keys to an untraceable kingdom. $200 million in Bitcoin." The search for the watch became a desperate race against a killer who was already among them, hiding in plain sight. Veronica, the tech expert who had set up Kaufman's accounts, was the frontrunner. She was cold, calculating, and far more intelligent than Kaufman had ever given her credit for. She had been the brains behind his success, while he had been the loud, obnoxious face of it. She had used a local software engineer named Endicott as her muscle, a man desperate for funding for his failing AI project, which turned out to be nothing more than a scam using cheap labor in India. But when Endicott became a liability, Veronica disposed of him with the same clinical efficiency she used to debug code. The climax took place back on the best kind, under a moonless sky. Veronica had returned for the watch, which the terrified Blaine had hidden in the ship's intricate ventilation system before fleeing. Charlie and Rex moved through the darkened ship, the only sound the rhythmic creaking of the hull against the dock. Rex's nose led the way, his body low to the ground. "Stay back, detective," Veronica's voice echoed through the main cabin. She stepped out from behind a velvet curtain, holding a 9mm handgun with the steady hand of a professional. "This money belongs to me. I built his empire. I wrote the algorithms. Kaufman just had the loud mouth and the inheritance. Money doesn't buy your way out of a double homicide, Veronica," Charlie said, his own hand resting on his holster, his heart thudding. Rex moved silently, a shadow within a shadow, flanking her from the port side. When Charlie gave the sharp, whistled signal, the dog launched himself. The gun went off a deafening roar that shattered the cabin's glass, but Rex was a blur of teeth and power. He took her down before she could get a second shot off. The struggle was brief but intense. Veronica was subdued. And the watch, the tiny ticking vault of a dead man's fortune, was recovered from the vent where Blaine had stashed it. As the police boats escorted the best kind back to the marina, Charlie stood at the rail, the salt air stinging his eyes. Sarah walked up beside him, handing him a lukewarm coffee. "Another one for the books," she said, her voice soft. "I'm starting to think you're the one who attracts the drama, Sarah," Charlie joked, though his eyes were warm as he looked at her. "Me? You're the one who keeps jumping onto moving yachts," she countered, her shoulder brushing against his. They stood there in the quiet of the night, watching the lights of street johns grow closer. For the first time, Charlie didn't pull away. He let his hand rest near hers on the cold metal rail, their fingers inches apart. A silent acknowledgement of the bond that kept them both sane in a world full of shadows. Chapter 5. The Secret Ingredient and the Poisoned Legacy. The third case came with a different kind of sting, one that tasted of juniper and betrayal. William Devereux, the legendary patriarch of the Devereux distillery, was found dead. It was a macabre irony. The man who had built an empire on gin was found drowned in one of his own fermentation vats. The Devereux family was a viper's nest of resentment and old money. There was Alan, the eldest son, who had spent 40 years living in his father's stifling shadow. Jaden, the ambitious CFO, who was secretly negotiating to sell the family legacy to a Japanese mega-corporation. And Melanie, the youngest, who had been cast out years ago for wanting to innovate the brand. "He was a tyrant of the old school," Melanie told Charlie, her hands stained deep purple with the botanical she used for her independent skincare line. "He didn't believe in change. He believed in control." The mystery revolved around a secret ingredient in a new blend that William was about to announce, a blend he claimed would revolutionize the industry. Everyone in the family had a reason to want that recipe. Everyone had a reason to kill for it. Sarah's lab results were baffling and ominous. In small doses, it's a traditional tea. In high concentrations, it contains cyanotoxins. It can be lethal, but William hadn't been poisoned. The autopsy showed he had been struck from behind and then held under the surface of the gin. He had been conscious when he drowned. Kulina, Colleen, my gata. Kulina, Kulina. He had been conscious when he drowned. The breakthrough came, as it so often did, from Rex's extraordinary nose. Charlie set up a canine bar at the station, a series of identical glasses containing different gin blends. Rex, with a precision that stunned the observers from the distillery, picked out the glass containing the Labrador tea every single time, without fail. This led them back to the distillery, to a hidden stash of the botanical in Grant McGovern's lab, the master distiller who had been sidelined by William's sudden obsession with the new recipe. But Grant wasn't the killer. He was just a man trying to keep up with a madman. The truth was far more tragic, a story of a daughter's desperate need for validation. Alan had indeed confronted his father that afternoon, striking him in a moment of pure, unadulterated rage, after being told he was being cut out of the will. But Alan had fled, leaving the old man unconscious, but alive. It was Melanie who had arrived later, seeing her father on the floor and realizing that he was finally planning to use her ideas. The Labrador tea was her innovation. Stolen by her father, she saw a way to take back what was hers. Believing her father would never truly give her the credit, she had dragged his limp body to the vat and finished what Alan had started. "I did what had to be done," she screamed as Charlie led her away in the rain. "He was going to steal my soul and call it his own. I deserved that legacy." The case left a bitter, metallic taste in Charlie's mouth. Family, he realized, could be the most dangerous place of all. A place where love and hate were often indistinguishable. He found Sarah in the station's break room late that night, staring into a steaming cup of tea. "Labrador tea?" he asked, sitting across from her, his voice heavy with fatigue. "Just regular orange pekoe," she said, offering a sad, tired smile. "I don't think I'll be able to look at a bottle of gin for a very long time, Charlie." "Me neither." They sat in the companionable silence of the empty station, the weight of the Devereaux tragedy hanging in the air. "Charlie?" Sarah said softly, her eyes meeting his. "Yeah? Don't ever let us become like that. Don't let the darkness of these rooms eat us up." Charlie reached across the scarred wooden table and took her hand, his thumb tracing the line of her knuckles. This time, there was no hesitation, no professional barrier. "I won't, Sarah, I promise. As long as we have each other. And Rex, the light stays on." Chapter 6. The Long Walk and the Final Stand. The final and most grueling test came in the rugged, unforgiving wilderness of Cape Royal. What started as a simple murder investigation quickly turned into a high-stakes manhunt through the dense Newfoundland brush. Malcolm Carter, a low-level criminal, had been murdered on the docks. The only witness was Wyatt Donner, a young man who had been in the wrong place at the wrong time. Wyatt had seen Tyler Craner, the impulsive, violent son of the city's most notorious crime lord, Jason Craner, pull the trigger. Wyatt had done the only thing a sane person could do. He had vanished into the woods he knew like the back of his hand. But Wyatt wasn't just being hunted by the police. Jason Craner had hired a professional to tie up the loose end. Serena Rickett was a ghost, a lethal shadow who had left a trail of unsolved disappearances from Toronto to Montreal. She was a predator who didn't miss, and Wyatt was her prey. Charlie, Jesse, and Rex set out into the wilderness as the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting long, skeletal shadows across the mossy ground. The air was biting, and the terrain was a treacherous mix of jagged rock and tangled roots. "He's here," Charlie said, kneeling to examine a snapped twig that Rex had flagged with a low whine. "But she's here too. I can feel her." The hike was a grueling journey that stretched into hours. They finally found Wyatt's hidden camp, but as they were securing the terrified witness, the silence of the woods was shattered by the sharp crack of a high-powered rifle. The bullet grazed Charlie's upper arm, a white-hot poker of pain that sent him spinning into the dirt. Rex let out a roar of fury, his hackles standing on end. "Mark!" Jesse screamed, drawing his service weapon and scanning the tree line. "Get him out of here!" Charlie ordered, his voice tight with pain as blood began to soak through his jacket. "Jesse, take Wyatt and go. Head for the ridge. Rex and I will hold her off. I'm not leaving you bleeding out in the dirt, Hudson." "That's an order, Jesse. The witness is the only way to take down the Craners. Go." Reluctantly, Jesse led the shaking Wyatt away, disappearing into the thick canopy. Charlie lay in the brush, his breathing shallow and ragged. Beside him, Rex was a statue of focused, lethal aggression, his eyes fixed on a cluster of spruce trees 500 yards away. "It's just us, buddy," Charlie whispered, clutching his arm. Like always, Serena was good better than any killer Charlie had ever faced. She moved like smoke, her footsteps silent on the damp moss. But she didn't have a partner who could hear a heartbeat from 100 yards away. The game of cat and mouse lasted for 3 agonizing hours. Charlie used every ounce of his training, setting false trails and leading the hit woman deeper into a treacherous ravine where the wind swirled, masking their scent and sound. The final confrontation came at the edge of a sheer cliff, the Atlantic Ocean roaring like 1,000 lions 500 feet below them. The fog had returned, thick and suffocating. Serena stepped out from behind an ancient cedar tree, her rifle leveled at Charlie's chest with clinical precision. "You're a persistent one, Detective. I'll give you that. It's almost a shame to end it here." "It's over, Serena," Charlie said, his voice steady despite the blood loss and the cold. "My team has the witness. The Craners are done. You're holding a losing hand. Then you're just a consolation prize." She sneered, her finger beginning to tighten on the trigger. But Charlie wasn't looking at her. He was looking at the dark shape moving silently through the fog behind her. Rex hit. The dog was a thunderbolt of black and tan. He hit Serena with the force of a high-speed collision, the rifle spinning out of her hands and clattering over the cliffside into the abyss. By the time the extraction chopper arrived, its searchlights cutting through the mist, Serena was pinned to the ground under Rex's weight, and Charlie was leaning against a tree, pale but alive, with Rex sitting protectively at his side. The extraction was a blur of noise and light. The next thing Charlie knew, he was in the back of an ambulance. The sirens wail a distant hum. Sarah was there, her face as white as a sheet, her eyes red-rimmed from crying. "You absolute, total idiot," she whispered, her hand trembling violently as she touched his cheek. "You almost died out there." "I had it under control," Charlie rasped, a weak smile touching his lips. "You were shot, Charlie. Don't you dare tell me you had it under control." She didn't wait for a response. She leaned forward and kissed him. A desperate, fierce kiss that tasted of salt, tears, and 1,000 unspoken promises. Charlie pulled her closer with his good arm, his heart hammering a frantic rhythm against his ribs. "I guess I definitely owe you that drink now," he whispered when they finally broke apart. Sarah laughed a wet, shaky sound that was the most beautiful thing Charlie had ever heard. "You owe me a lot more than a drink, Detective Hudson. You owe me a lifetime." As the ambulance sped toward the hospital, Rex sat on the floor, watching them with a calm, satisfied look in his eyes. He knew his job was done. The shadows of the North Atlantic were still there, shifting and cold, but for the first time, Charlie Hudson wasn't walking through them alone. He had a partner, a love, and a dog who would follow him to the end of the world. Note to user: this expanded Part 2 significantly increases the depth, emotional resonance, and word count of the narrative. We have now covered the primary arcs with much more detail. To continue toward the 30,000-word goal, we can delve into new original cases or expand on the daily lives and pasts of the characters between these major events. Would you like me to continue with Volume 3? Echoes of the Atlantic, a tale of mystery, loyalty, and love in Street John's. Prologue: The Heart of the Rock. Street John's, Newfoundland, was a city built on stories and salt. It was a place where the Atlantic Ocean didn't just meet the land. It hammered against it, shaping the rugged cliffs of Signal Hill and the souls of those who called the Rock home. The air was a constant swirl of mist and memories. And for Detective Charlie Hudson, it was the only place he felt he could truly breathe, even when the fog was thick enough to swallow the world whole. Charlie stood on the edge of the harbor, watching the pilot boats guide the massive tankers through the Narrows. Beside him, Rex, the German shepherd, whose intuition often surpassed human logic, sat with a stoic grace. They were a pair defined by their scars and their shared silence. Charlie had come to Street John's to escape a past that wouldn't stop chasing him, only to find a future that required him to run faster than ever before. And then there was Sarah Truong, the lead forensic scientist, whose intellect was as sharp as the scalpels she used in the morgue, yet whose heart was a fortress. Charlie was slowly, carefully, trying to learn the layout of. Their partnership was the anchor in his life, a steady presence in a job that dealt in the currency of chaos. Chapter E. The Boy in the Window. The morning began with a scream that the fog tried to muffle. In the quiet neighborhood near the outskirts of the city, Emma Jansen stood on her front porch, her hands trembling as she held a cordless phone. Her world had just fractured. Her son, Brian, a 12-year-old with a brilliant mind, and the silent world of autism had disappeared. And with him, the young lawyer who lived down the street, Megan Schaefer, had vanished into thin air. When Charlie and Rex arrived, the scene was already cordoned off. The colorful houses of the street looked muted under the gray sky. Charlie found Sarah already there, her gloved hands hovering over a patch of disturbed gravel near the sidewalk. "Charlie," she said, her voice steady but carrying that undertone of concern he had come to recognize. "A van, most likely." Megan was walking home from work, Charlie noted, looking at the house. "She's a private person." Her parents said she'd recently broken up with a colleague, Jamie Bregdon. It wasn't an easy split. Inside the house, Brian Jansen sat by the window. He didn't look at the police officers or his sobbing mother. He was focused entirely on a piece of charcoal and a large sketchbook. Rex approached him quietly, sensing the boy's distress. He didn't bark or nudges. He simply laid his head on Brian's knee. Slowly, Brian's hand began to move. He wasn't drawing a landscape. He was drawing a face. A face with cold, calculating eyes and a jagged scar across the chin. Beside the face, he sketched a van with a very specific dent in the sliding door. "He saw it happen," Sarah whispered, standing close to Charlie. The warmth of her presence was a stark contrast to the chilling detail of the boy's drawing. "He's giving us the kidnapper." Chapter 2. The Shadow of the Firm. The investigation led them to the offices of Wilkins Law, a prestigious firm where Megan had been rising through the ranks. The atmosphere was one of hushed whispers and polished mahogany. Todd, the senior partner, met them with a look of practiced concern. "Megan is one of our best," Todd said, leaning back in his expensive leather chair. "It's devastating. We knew about her, and Jamie, of course. We tried to discourage inter-office romances, but they were discreet. Until the end. We found Jamie's card at his apartment, but he's gone," Charlie said, his eyes scanning Todd's desk. Megan was looking into some irregularities in the firm's escrow accounts. "Did you know about that?" Todd's expression flickered for a fraction of a second, a micro-expression of fear that Rex caught with a low rumble in his throat. "Financial audits are standard." "Detective. Ha. Slash. Lush. Ha. Ha. I doubt that has anything to do with her disappearance." Outside the office, Sarah stopped Charlie. "The hair we found at the scene, Charlie. I ran the DNA. It doesn't match Jamie Bregdon, but it does match someone in our database. Earl Blackburn, a career criminal with a history of working as a hired muscle." "Blackburn," Charlie spat the name. "He's a ghost." Chapter 3. The Silver Van. The search for Jamie Bregdon ended in an industrial park on the edge of town. They found the silver van Brian had sketched, but the interior was a slaughterhouse. Jamie was slumped in the driver's seat. His life bled out from a single, clinical stab wound to the neck. "He was the fall guy," Charlie said, his jaw tight. "Todd intended for us to find Jamie and blame him for the kidnapping, but Jamie must have gotten cold feet." Sarah moved around the vehicle, her eyes sharp. "Look at this, Charlie. Tiny shards of chromium. This van was recently in a shop, a metalworking shop or a high-end chop shop. And look at the scent Rex is picking up." Rex was circling a pile of discarded rags in the corner of the lot. He began to bark, a sharp, insistent sound that echoed off the corrugated metal buildings. "He's found something," Charlie said. Under the rags was a burner phone. The last message sent was a set of coordinates. As they drove toward the coordinates, an abandoned machine shop in the Barrens. The silence between Charlie and Sarah grew heavy with the weight of what they might find. "You're thinking about Brian," Sarah said softly, her hand resting briefly on Charlie's arm. "I'm thinking about the fact that he's the only one who can identify Blackburn," Charlie admitted. "And that puts a target on a 12-year-old boy's back. We won't let anything happen to him," she promised. Or to Megan. The raid on the machine shop was a masterclass in tactical precision. Charlie and Rex led the way, moving through the shadows like twin ghosts. They found Blackburn first, a man who fought like a cornered animal, but he was no match for Rex's fury and Charlie's resolve. In a small, windowless room at the back, they found Megan. She was pale, bound to a chair, but alive. When Charlie cut her loose, she collapsed into his arms, sobbing. "Todd," she gasped. He said Jamie was dead. He said I was next. Chapter 4. The Spear and the Sea. The arrest of Todd and Blackburn brought a brief respite, but the Atlantic never stayed quiet for long. A week later, a call came in from the marina. A luxury yacht, the best kind, had a grisly centerpiece. Jacob Kaufman, a man whose wealth was as vast as his ego, had been murdered.